Hello, one. Hello, all. Welcome once again to Blaine's Escape Corner. Our little corner of the internet where we get together, we talk about things that help us escape. Uh, Welcome. Oh, it's Escape Corner, Blaine. Why don't we talk about things that help us escape? Why are we doing more? Why are you making us watch more of Sam Bucket Cedar talking to actual Justice Warrior? Because I was busy today. And I didn't watch any anime today, which has me riled up. I didn't have time to finish the video myself, and I still want to finish the video, even though I know the video is going to be just a massive frustration for me. I know this. I know this is happening, but I still want to put myself into that. And if I'm going to go through it and use it to have fun, I figured I might. Plus, I saw when I was setting up on Kick, XQC streaming to 44,000 people while he watched and reacted to Hassan and Ethan Klein arguing about the React meta. And this one digs deep. This goes into a past on the internet because Ethan Klein was reacting to people in the most transformative way. He was making skits about it. He was watching them. He was poking fun out of them. And one guy was like, I don't like what you're doing to me, so I'm going to sue you for copyright. And they go all the way to court, and in the final court documents, it literally says that Ethan Klein is like the epitome of transformative fair use content. And so you have someone that used to be hilarious and it was the Vape Nation guy who won a case because he was transformative with the way that he did his content, pointing out how dumb the React meta is. And Hassan Piker sitting there trying not to piss off his boss, I guess. I don't know their relationship, but Hassan seems like a little bitch the whole time while he's sitting there being like, well, sometimes, they should be better, but it's hilarious. It's great. It is amazing. And it made me laugh. It really did make me chuckle a little bit. Didn't Ethan and Hassan have a podcast together? They have a podcast together. It's from the podcast they have together. It's not he didn't bring on Hassan to be like, wow, you suck. He's on the podcast he does with Hassan making fun of XQC. And Hassan is like, oh, shit, this is what I do. And they start getting into it. And you're like, oh, no. What are you going to do now, boy? It's good. It's funny. So let's burn the second half of the Sam Bucket Cedar video. And we'll move on from there. Speaking of chuckles, started watching Kung Pao, Fist of Fury. Baby can't do that. Baby can do that. You best believe Baby do that. Baby got the mark. That means Baby can do that. Welcome, Michael.
Yo.
I was surprised you weren't here when I was late.
No, so what happened was a lot of wine moms are over right now. And they're being
I see.
out.
You should put on a David Goggins video and throw it in the middle of them and see what happens.
No, I'm just gonna mute myself until they leave, pretty much.
That works, I guess.
Look, I know they have to leave by like 7:45, so it's not that long.
It's long enough, though.
Well, I mean,
Baby
they should
needs
leave.
a Baconator? What the hell's the Baconator talk? What are we doing here?
I have no idea, but that is a good sandwich.
Does everybody know David Goggins when I say that name?
No.
Okay. let me
I'm just gonna let you roll with it.
I'll start with this. I'll start with David Goggins.
Got to run a 120-mile week, 2,000 pull-ups, 4,000 push-ups, and hundreds of reps at the gym.
100 reps at the gym.
Time. Goggins has a great message.
He's got a good message.
End up like him. His body's all fucked up. You're not afraid of having a fucked up body. You're afraid of the fucking effort. See, what you don't understand is this. We're all being
What do we
tested.
not understand?
And that road to success is a bumpy ass fucking road.
It might be.
Potholes, nails, detours and shit. Yeah. A lot of
Yeah.
you are gonna die with a nicely preserved body. No plates. No bad
That would be
knees,
nice. I'd like to die
no
like that.
bruises, no scars. Stay hard. Just got to
Thanks,
run.
Goggins.
That's David Goggins. Are you running? Because David Goggins running. Have I seen real life jiggle physics? Yes. My introduction to David Goggins, like anyone else's, was oh my gosh, why do I want to say Tim Pool? Who's the podcast? Joe Rogan. It was Joe Rogan. And just another one of those people he brings on where he's like, "Why are you asleep? I'm working." When you say I'm tired, I say I keep going. So, he's just constant. He is the unending David Goggins.
On the specific.
And he will run to Mars before we ever get there. I guarantee you that.
Are you going to stick through the super chat reading at the end?
If Actual Justice Warrior posted it, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's just attached at the end because this is his version of the stream.
Okay. I might skip the super chats. I don't know. A lot of the times the audience in these, like, they throw stuff in, and if they're not reading them kind of as they go, then you start to read all the super chats at the end, and you're like, wait, what the hell was that in response to? Like, and this happens to me too, because you got a character limit on your super chats, right? So you're like trying to make it fit, but you have like a specific thing you want to say. And so that you end up making it word a little weird. And then when they read it, they're like, what the fuck does that mean? And you're like, fuck, I knew I should have used a period.
No, I knew I should have made it $5 instead of $2. Damn it.
Yeah, I should have spent that extra $3 just so he understood me.
No, I know what you mean. I've super chatted to a lolly stream we call Shota the Shogun of Harlem before.
Did he do it?
Yeah, but I don't think he understood.
He ain't the Shogun of Harlem then, I guess.
Specific things.
Even
Again,
though it doesn't
pillars-
have.
Oh, also, we'll probably talk to more in the React meta, but I watched a little bit of the XQC stream, and it's pretty funny because X is just saying like, "Oh, Hassan, are you with someone who believes this? Let's pull up your shit." And he starts pulling up Hassan clips where Hassan's just sitting there watching JCS videos. It's like, yep. He's got
they're
some
all the
stones he's
same.
throwing. Might not be able to stay on this stream. You want to listen to music calm you down after playing Sonic Frontiers? Go listen to some music and relax, George Trahan.
Mhm.
You've earned it. You played
Uh-oh.
Sonic Frontiers. Go King.
Have it on
that
other.
hold up the house of the criminal justice system. So those need to
Okay.
be changed. But yeah, so it depends. There are some reversals. I think those reversals are good.
What were we in the middle of here? What? Hold on, let me look at this.
They're talking about the criminal justice system.
No shit.
Specifically the special victims unit. These are their stories.
These are their stories. 52. Okay, they're talking about how things have changed in specifically New York, claiming that it's a drop, but it's not a drop. It's still higher. So they're talking about the things that are occurring in the city beyond that.
Oh yeah.
You're listening to Ballin'? If you don't know the song Ballin' is, listen to it. It's already in a meme, but it's a banger. What's Ballin'?
It goes like this. Ballin', motherfucking dawn.
I think I know that one.
Yeah, it's that one.
What game is this an ad for? EA.com. Yup. It's just EA.com. Congratulations. Oh, Immortals. Okay.
Of course.
Okay. Kick Michael, he sucks. You're the producer, you kick him.
Yeah, get in here and do it, bitch. I'm tired of Soros' harassment.
That
But
is
it
it.
only happens
Okay.
when he's in chat, therefore, you know.
Do you think this level's been, shall we say, fucked since it won't let me,
What do you mean?
since I can't capture with Hector?
Yeah, I have no idea what's up with that. Maybe I just don't know.
It is a gate, like it's labeled gate and everything. Here you go now. Have a good one, George.
Yeah, later, George.
Super strange. Anyway, we're about to initiate the horse army, I think. That'll be the next step.
But in places where they're doubling down, like Larry Krasner in Philadelphia, they're
Oh, I
still
forgot
at
a cup.
record homicides, and not record in comparison to 2019.
Watch this. Watch this
Record
crazy thing. I'm gonna pause it, and I'm gonna go get a cup so I can pour my sake. I'll be right
Alright.
back.
Alright, chat, you know who's number one? Momo from Bleach. Let's go. Can I get some number ones in chat? Alright, up next we got Ino from Naruto. Can I get some number twos in chat? Alright, last one. We got number three. Who's number three? We got Levy
All right, I'm back.
Garden. Can I get some number threes?
Drink it from the bottle? It's not in a bottle. It's in a carton. That'd be super weird to like chug from the carton in the little like hole thing the whole time.
All
Thank you
time,
for the
worse
number
than the
three,
1990s.
Geminiere.
The favorite talking point of the crime denialist.
Okay.
Crime denialist.
The
Yes, people who deny crime.
He's
yes.
stuttering
what do
so
you mean
much
by
now.
deny crime?
That they'll try to minimize.
Don't give him these opportunities. This is what people need to realize. If you're going to talk to Sam Cedar, you can't bring something up where he's able to sort of like ask you a question to dive into it. You have to only speak from a position where this is a thing you cannot ask me. And if he asks you a question on it, you have to be like, are you serious, Sam? Why do you tell me what that means? Because it's a normal word that everybody uses. As soon as you start to get into these like different concepts, he tries to play dumb every damn time.
Just be like, I think you can figure out what that means, Sam.
Yeah,
I think you understand what that means.
I think you know what would you have called a person who didn't believe in the COVID, right? What would you call them? A denialist, because some people just deny things in their lives.
Yeah.
It's just how they want to live.
Minimize and deny that the increase is happening. Do what you did with marijuana arrests, where you complain, where you assert that it's possibly due to arresting bias, even though that's not how we measure crime. We measure crime in reports, and then we do victimization surveys, and then we have homicide statistics. We're actually really good at measuring crime. So pointing out arresting bias is a denial
Well, wait a
tactic.
second. You just said like we're really good at measuring crime, but
Yes.
if you see the statistics are trending down, they're really that's not.
I didn't say
relevant.
they're nothing. I said that they're there, but they're within a range that we have now gotten into a new normal. So they're good. I'm always going to root for crime to go down. But what I'm interested in is getting to that all-time low way back in time in that
All-time
autumn
low.
year of
Everybody loves that band,
2019.
right?
And I think you have to institute the policies that existed in 2019.
You kind of want to say you don't believe in COVID, so I can then get weird looks when I tell them I'm actually a COVID agnostic. Yeah.
There may be a COVID. I don't know.
And again, it feels so like I know that that's like his show, so like he's got it, it's produced, he's got his team. You call in knowing he's got a team, but it really does just feel like kind of scummy when, and this happens all the time in online debates, and they got like their little Discord room in the background that's like feeding them data and stuff, and you're like, just why can't you have this argument and you just say, you know what, I don't know, maybe I don't know, just say it.
2019, and I think you have to institute the policies that existed in 2019. We have
Bear or no bear in China? No, what's the, you talking about Pooh Bear?
Probably.
Are you talking about the Chinese Pooh Bear?
Dude, we're trending up. Let's go. In the day between starting this video and ending this video, my stocks have gone from doing kind of meh to doing great. Let's go.
Nice. We win in here, boys.
Yeah, stay winning.
Is it
You can
across
do
the
it too.
board winning? Hold on.
It's just the one that matters.
Well, I'm just wondering if mine are looking all right too, or if it's just a you.
Well, this was the only one that was down since I bought it. And now it's like significantly up.
I see. Get blamed trending somehow? Yeah, trend me up. No, I'm down 0.6 today.
Damn. Yeah, it's probably... No, so the thing is, PG&E is like a company everyone hates in California, but they have a monopoly on energy here.
Yeah,
And
that
so
makes
when
sense.
like they caused a bunch of California fires, their stock dropped a shit ton. But like they still have a monopoly on fucking energy here, so why wouldn't I buy the stock? You know, like they're on all-time low. They like we're still forced to use them. And now they're up. It's great.
Oh no. Come on, Raven, keep dodging. Don't kill him.
Yeah, you're supposed to equip an axe. And also not throw him into combat.
I didn't realize he was going to die if I threw him on the front line.
We haven't even talked about incarceration. You know that prison population is declining in the United States of America,
Dodge,
and that
yes.
also seems to be tied to the increase in crime.
Not in Connecticut.
Not in Connecticut in terms of population decreasing, or
No, not in Connecticut in terms of as their prison.
These bears are hilarious. The sun bear, they're one of the weirdest looking little bears you'll ever see. They actually are bears. They're not like this camera angle makes it kind of look like a bear suit, but they're they really are goofy ass looking bears. They're also not very big.
Yeah, I saw that and thought it was a bear. I don't know what people are talking about.
Here's a sun bear walking.
Hey, honey!
What are you doing?
I'm getting rid of my...
Oh wait, no, not
a human.
this one.
Named
They're taking in
Oh my gosh, come
the
on,
smells.
wrong one.
Ooh,
Give me the other one.
Berenstein bears.
This one? Yeah, look at him. They just do that. Such goofy ass looking bears. When I went to the zoo with some friends and I knew this bear was around the corner and I was like, oh, let's go look at the bear around the corner. My one friend gets within sight of this damn thing and just starts dying of laughter because they look like somebody took like a panther and a dude and were just like, it's kind of like a bear. they're
Dude.
so goofy.
Someone needs to offer to picnic a basket.
Exactly. He wants it. He wants his picnic basket. Probably because they're malnourished.
No, it's
No, that's just what they look like. They're huge, that's for sure.
just throw down with one.
Yeah. I always wonder, animals don't really have a sense of like a fighting sense.
Yeah, you could probably beat it.
I think if you get like a solid punch to like a good spot on a bear, you can really you can do a lot of damage and get it to turn around and go the other way, you know?
Yeah.
And the only issue you have is if you're in between it and like mama bear and her cubs. Like, don't get between the two. But like,
Yeah.
we get black bears all the time, and all you do is shout at them, and you're like, "Get out of here, go!" And they run for it. They book. They don't want to hang out. They aren't there for fighting. But it depends on the bear. Polar bear won't give a shit if you show
all
up.
these reforms, and crime is also dropping dramatically in
you clearly
Connecticut. How do you
haven't
explain
seen
that?
or
I would have to
heard
look
of
up the
polar
crime
bear
stats for the
police
state
force.
of for Connecticut, because you tell me that a
Well,
4%,
here, let me,
a 4% decrease after a dramatic increase is a dramatic drop, and that's just not true. But I'll look it up.
Well, let me just pull this up. I have
Is
this somewhere here.
a
A
drop,
story about Connecticut.
suppose.
It's pretty dramatic. People are pretty excited in Connecticut. My understanding. Here, let me get that for you.
I'm surprised you don't know these numbers.
You wouldn't risk it with a grizzly bear? See, grizzly bears are like only an issue if you encounter one and it doesn't know you're on the way. You literally just have to tie a bell around your shoe and you'll never have an issue with a grizzly bear. I am 1,000 times more scared of mountain lions if I'm out hiking than I am a bear. Like that.
Well, yeah.
A bear, they're big, they're noisy, they're dumb, like they can tear shit up, but they're so obvious. A mountain lion, you'll just be dead. You'll just be walking and then you're dead. You don't get a chance.
Oh, you're scared of a mountain lion on a mountain, eh?
Yeah, fucking bitches are crazy. Look at him. They look like they're just pissed off and ready to eat you.
Yeah, they are.
Are mountain lions aggressive? They're rare. That is true. It is pretty rare because usually they have enough food that they don't really worry about humans. But if they get hungry enough, a biker is just it's like us open up what are those nuts that you like peel them apart?
Pistachios?
Pistachio, yeah. Bicyclist helmet's just a pistachio shell to them. Bear, you just scream like a spurg. What do you do with a cougar? You just die. They used to teach us grab a stick and make yourself look big, but if a cougar or mountain lion is hungry enough, they'll just eat you anyway. They'll do whatever. You prefer bobcats? Yeah. Bobcats are awesome. Their stupid little tails, just adorable.
What are the floppy-eared ones?
The floppy-eared ones? I don't
Yeah, they're
know.
like obviously cats, but they have the giant ears. They're all on TikTok.
What? Floppy-eared cat?
Yeah, just look up floppy-eared cat on YouTube.
Oh, probably this one. A caracal? This guy?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, the caracal. That's the desert cat. Where else do they live?
I don't know, but I like it.
So caracal, the reason I know it's a desert cat is because there was a company that... So Glocks are cool guns because they have very few parts. There's not a lot to go wrong with them. And a company was like, what if we made even fewer parts? And they made this gun that's not that good, but they called it the caracal. So I had to learn what a fucking caracal was to try to sell it to people. Native to Africa, Middle East, Central Asia, areas of Pakistan. Hey, we learned about Pakistan yesterday. And northwestern India. Carnivore. So that's where they live. They live not quite in the deserts, but like near the deserts.
Mm-hmm.
I always called it the desert cat because gun guys like Desert Tan and other cool gun guy talk like that. A lynx? Could be a lynx as
well.
well.
Look out for those Pegasus because they're ballista up top.
Oh, these guys here?
Yeah. See, you're just outside the range.
I'm right there. I'm about to make a mad dash for ballista in this next round. Can I do anything here? Is this gonna... No, it's not gonna help anybody. We'll see. Continue, Sam.
You can look that up too. I think it's a pretty well-known story. I'm surprised that I anticipated that you would know about that one.
Yeah, I don't know every single state in the union offhand.
Okay. I mean, Connecticut's right next door.
Dude,
Don't be so snippy with me, Sean. I've got a team working on this right now. Where's my Connecticut story?
dude will
What-
deadass say.
What is he looking for? Like, what is he browsing through a tablet? Is he looking at a computer? Is he staring at a teleprompter? Because he's like up and down with his eyes. He's up and down with his hands and fingers. He's like, oh, where's this? Is he flipping through pages? Does
You
he
know
have
something crazy,
packets?
though?
What?
Sean said, I think that's actual Justice Warrior's name. He said that
It
he
is,
could
Sean.
see the entire all the background people.
Oh, like they're all in the Zoom call or something?
Yeah, he could see them all.
Oh, that's funny. So he literally, it's not a surprise to him when we hear them talking in the background.
Yeah, he can see the unpersoned voice.
What a goof.
Time.
Got a
What's that?
binder called The Narrative, but he's gone off the page. Hold on, let me get talking point A12 here.
Since 2012. Reported crime, mostly burglaries, fell by 29% during that period. But get me that. Get me the. I had.
Give me the thing.
He's like, oh,
This
of course
is,
you didn't hear about
from,
the story.
oh,
It's
this is from
it's a pretty
yesterday.
big deal.
July
The story.
27th.
It's literally from yesterday.
In 1999, Connecticut had so many people in prison, it had to send 500 of them to be incarcerated to Virginia. That's part of the story there. The state's rate of 155 people in prison per.
Imagine how many people are in prison that you have to send some to another
below the
state.
national average of
Or
350 people per 100,000. Violent crime decreased 43% from 2012 to 2021. Property crime sank 29% during the same period. The state unleashed a range of changes. This is under Governor Malloy in 2011.
Governor
So, I mean,
Malloy.
it's a long-term trend. State unleashed a range of
Oh,
changes,
no.
including repealing the death penalty, bumping the age at which juveniles could be charged as adults from 16 to 18 for most crimes. I think you were against that one in New York.
Yes.
Eliminating some sentencing guidelines that affected predominantly people of color. They have now been.
Oh,
able to
it's
close, I think,
paper. He's actually reading paper because he just did the old guy thing where he's like, to like flip it, like turn the page, like.
You think he just printed out a shit ton of titles of articles?
Oh, 100%. He's a voice actor, right? Like he
Yeah.
literally is just reading the lists. Okay.
One more to go. Yeah, you got the.
Oh, I must have already gotten the other one. So if
Yeah,
I go to
weird.
status, that'll show me that I have points?
No,
No.
no, you
It
just,
just
gotta keep
keeps
track.
saying earn 3. Got it.
Yeah, I thought that might happen, but I wasn't sure.
Can I make it with you? Sam's getting that paper. But it's a paper in a binder, and it does have the narrative written on it. Old guy thing? Yeah, where they don't stick out their whole tongue to, like, just, like, lick your finger real quick, like a normal-ass human. They kind of, like, they gotta, like, reach into their mouth to touch their tongue. They won't come out. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Everyone can picture the grandfather elf, grandpapa elf from the Elf movie doing that exact motion. You know exactly what I mean. You know what I mean?
A
Exactly.
bunch of prisons.
Bunch of
He said,
prisons.
this is Malloy, who's now, I guess, a
Okay, I'm gonna sit on
chancellor
this.
of the University of Maine system. Not only had the state built too many prisons, but had a mix of old buildings and new prisons built for maximum punishment instead of facilities where people could be rehabilitated.
You never watched
In
Elf?
2016, Malloy, they went to
Listen
prisons
to
in
this.
Germany, and they came back and they did this. I would imagine you would hate this.
It's
It
Bob
led to the
Newhart
creation
as
of a
the
true
Papa
unit
Elf.
at a correctional facility, truthfulness to oneself and others, respectfulness towards the community, understanding, and
Ah, the movie's
elevating
so
into
good.
success. It was all programs to mentor people, and they have been sending less people to prison, and they have less crime.
So why would you think I would hate?
Before Sean gets into if this is working there, then awesome, which is just my guess as to what he would say, because only makes sense that if it works somewhere, let it continue to work there.
Yeah, but
Before
this
we get
dude-
to that, I got a real question here with if we're not arresting people for crimes, are we still tracking the crime?
Yes. That's what Sean was saying, because we track it by reports, not by arrests.
Okay.
But even then, why would you start that sentence off about rehabilitation by saying, "I imagine you would hate this"? Like, the fucker is wrong with you. You know nothing about his positions.
And also it's such a giveaway for the issue with like the whole left right divide, the way that people debate is they auto assume the other person's the same kind of NPC that they are. Like, I could probably write the script for a Sam Cedar side of the debate, but I admitted when we started this, I actually don't know how Sean's policy prescriptions would line up, because I don't know enough about it, and I don't want to like stick him into one camp or the other when all he's had to do for most of his stuff is just say like, oh, let's have less crime. So I'm interested. We'll see.
Yeah,
Continue.
but even the point, like, knowing that alone, rehabilitation is supposed to prevent crime. So, like, why would he be against that ever?
I have no idea. It's just someone who does no idea. He doesn't know. He just doesn't know. He
Why
just
would
isn't
he
paying
know?
attention. He's not listening. He's not doing research on like his guests. He just is saying, "Oh, guy who thinks this bad. Let me put him in this bucket." Because you know how Sam loves buckets.
Yeah, he likes buckets.
He's a bucket boy.
You said I was guzzling buckets and buckets of.
You said if he was black, I would guzzle buckets of cum straight from his cock. God, it's so funny.
And you did.
Hate a rehabilitation program.
It just seems super soft.
No, first of all, I want to do smart things on crime. I don't want to just be cruel for no reason. If you told
I
me,
think
if you
that's
told
good to
anybody
hear.
in this country that you could take a criminal and make them a productive member of society, they would sign up for that easy.
True.
Do you
obviously.
think
But
that
the problem is,
overly policing
is
areas
that rehabilitation programs have bad data around them. One of the things that I'll actually commend London Breed for over in San Francisco is in a recent emergency crime bill, she actually pushed for, studying the way that these programs work. Now, in terms of the state of Connecticut, they might have had the crime drop, according to you. I'll take your word for it. But
Was he about to disagree with the idea about being cruel without reason? He wanted to be cruel with reason. Yeah, I could definitely see him getting a little debate brainy.
do want to point out that the report that you're highlighting, a big editor's note in it, in the, not 23.4%. So it's had
That
a
was me.
dramatic increase in clearance in the unsolved crimes.
Okay.
So there are problems, but not like everything has a marginal utility. So just because increasing prison population to a certain point can reduce crime doesn't mean you will continually benefit in crime reductions just by arbitrarily increasing the prison population.
We by sending less people to prison, and
Sean starts to make a point. Sam tries to talk over him at numerous points. Sean is doing this without a team behind him. Yeah. Well, I mean, Sean, let's not be trite with this. Sean is a one-man army when it comes to crime stats. They're like, the team exists and it's all Sean. Like, it's just this, in the Marvel, there's the council of Reeds. Or in Rick and Morty, there's the Council of Ricks. that's just what happens in Sean's head. He's just like, yep, here's all of the me's that all know what's going on. We'll decide this at the next meeting point. Kang. Yeah, he is a one-man army. So let's not pretend that he's fighting alone here.
Crime reducing. I don't know if there's a causality there, but it seems to be a long-term trend. You're saying that impacts the clearance rates.
No, I just said that their clearance rates are up. It's not all rosy. I'm looking at this like Lamont
Well,
report,
but
or however
why
you pronounce
does
it.
their why would that affect their clearance rates?
Well, I didn't say well, maybe some of their reforms or
3
losing
to 10,
officers
1
like
to
Nationwide
2.
Trends would affect their
You
clearance rate.
think
I didn't say
that
decreasing the
maybe.
prison population did. You just cited all this positive data from the state of Connecticut. I pull up the report that you're referring to, and they're like, listen, there is a caveat. The police are actually less productive in the
I'm
state
too
of
close.
Connecticut, which could be attributed to some, not all of the reforms. I'm not saying the prison population
Monday.com makes
Oh,
gains
Monday.com.
great again. Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to say again because they never were. And
reduction necessarily makes officer clearance rate going down.
It's such a hard thing. Like, you can really feel for Sean every time he opens his mouth, where he's like, I'm trying to explain this to a 2-year-old that it is more than just one input go in, one input come out. However, we need to admit that certain inputs lead to certain results. And just seeing him try to, like, work his way through that with someone who is like, well, but you said that input was important. It's like, on top of all the other inputs.
No, you don't understand. Only one can be important at a time. Jesus fucking
I
Christ.
can't handle more than one input. Stop it. I only have a huge team.
I'm just pointing out that this is happening. Like,
How
this is
does
also happening in the state
reducing
of
the
Connecticut.
number of incarcerated individuals inhibit the?
Did I not just say I'm not saying that reducing the
Okay,
prison
you just brought it
population-
up when I was talking about some other
We were talking about
topic, and it seems
Connecticut
that-
overall,
okay.
and you were painting a very rosy picture of the state of Connecticut.
I think the crime being down 25% is
I think it
pretty
is a good
rosy,
thing. I'm-
even if
I'm
the
very
clearance
happy
rates
about
are not as high. Because
I'm very happy about
theoretically,
that.
there's two reasons why you want higher clearance rates, right? One is presumably because you want to take people off the streets who have committed a crime.
Ooh.
A, because they've committed a crime, but B, you don't want them to commit a second crime. And B, obviously, for
Steal
some type of
X.
closure for the victims. But we do see significant drops in crime as we have less incarcerated people, and these reforms, which you had said you had a problem with. But let's
I do have a problem
let's
with
get
it,
to the
but
causes
again-
of crime. Let's get to the causes of crime. I
Oh,
think we've-
yes, we get
we've
back into
examined this.
causality.
Your-
Well, Sam,
our
again,
two different
I
arguments
said this a million times. Pillars in a building.
Steel weapons aren't great, but they've been very useful for this playthrough.
Mhm.
You can knock down one pillar, but if Connecticut has other things institutionally that are working to reduce crime, then that might not bring down the whole building.
So in this instance,
But
you're
nice
saying,
pulling out one specific state after coming down on me for doing that
it's
about
just,
cities and all
it was
that.
just an article I
repeatedly throughout this
found that
whole,
was in the
show.
news.
No, I just googled it a couple days ago. Don't worry, I was
Days
Come
ago,
on, I
so
only
that's
printed
why.
it out.
Fuck.
I don't know what you want me to say.
like, look at this guy. Sam can't remember words that came out of his own mouth last week when he's talking to Sitch and Adam, but Sean can say, earlier in this thing, you just like accused me of this, and now you're doing the exact same thing. That's what I like. I'm sorry. It's not a. This is 2 different weight classes right now, and the biggest piece of ass is I saw Sean posted some of the chats, and I was like, oh, are you kidding me? The people
Yeah.
that are in Sam Cedar's corner, they are holding the buckets, they're swimming in the buckets, they're contributing to the buckets. They are team bucket, man. It is
Yeah, they're really holding down the fort.
like, it's the same kind of chatter that you see saying that XQC is based and cool and awesome guy for saying that Hassan is also bad reactor. It's like, you guys are all the same, like, feverish audience.
Yeah, y'all are bad.
there. But let's talk about the other thing that you wanted to discuss, and that was the excusing of crime by blaming poverty.
Yes.
I will admit that I did not see this exchange with you and Emma, and I did not ask her. I've never heard her say that I excuse crime because of poverty.
You sure?
I suspect that she would argue, at least in part, that crime is a function of poverty.
Ugh.
Right? Not you get out of jail free if you're poor and you've committed a crime.
Are there people laughing in the background there?
Yeah.
You live in poverty, but rather that crime is a function of poverty. I would imagine that's what she was saying. And
no, specifically when I brought up that 327 people in the city of New York are arrested for a third of the shoplifting arrests in the city of New York, which represents over 6,000 arrests. She said that those people are the most desperate and they're doing it because they need to survive or to sustain their lives.
So in other
something
words,
to that
that
effect.
poverty.
So that sounds like an excuse to me. So yes, that would be excusing crime with the poverty excuse.
To me, it sounds like an argument as to what is driving.
That's not an excuse. It's a reason.
We're here. It's this chapter.
What
Stay
is
winning,
this
boys.
chapter?
We're here.
What happens this chapter? Do I get pent finally?
Maybe.
Okay.
Crime, but like I say, I'm not familiar
Well,
with that.
I argued, and I'll argue here,
What do you think
that the fact that we're not able to hold repeat offenders is what is causing that. If you locked up those 327 people, guess what? You have a third of the retail theft arrests gone because they keep committing the crime.
How many people would you have to lock up to make sure that you got the right 327?
327.
For that specific issue, it would be the 327 that are arrested a grand total.
Well, we know who
of
they are,
6,000
dumbass.
times.
Yeah, we keep arresting them. It's not a. This isn't a
How many people
question.
would you have to lock up to figure out who are the right ones? We know who the right ones are. What are you
Like, they
talking
should be
about?
entitled to a trial and presumed innocent until proven. However, I think if you're getting arrested for the same crime multiple times, it's a pretty good chance that you're doing the crime.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Seems like iffy reasoning.
Every time I've been pulled over for speeding or been pulled over because my tabs were expired, I was probably doing the crime. And it just keeps on happening.
Man, wouldn't your life be better if you're incarcerated, Blaine?
I mean, there would be less tickets, I guess, but I guess I'm part of the revenue generating.
Wouldn't it be better if the government appropriated your money and your possessions for their own gain?
God, I hate that. That's the worst thing in the world. What is that called? The
Civil asset forfeiture.
Yeah, that needs to go away forever.
I just found you while I think you're in the process of committing a crime. I'll help myself to this couple $1,000s here.
It's ridiculous.
Oh, sorry.
It's ridiculous.
We
that's
lost
a thing.
it. Yeah, we lost it. I don't know what happened to it. Just
And it's gone.
Veritag's a
And it's
utilitarian
gone.
argument.
All right, we'll invest a little bit, and it's gone.
If they're so poor, they'll get fed in prison, right?
It's true. They can make food in prison.
They probably also have big screen TV in prison.
It's everything they want.
Yeah.
They can even sneak a phone in.
No rent. Yeah, they just keister a phone and they're good. Oh, that's hilarious.
I put the song in your chat here.
I saw it, but I didn't want to play it just in case.
You all listen to it though a little bit?
Yeah, I listened.
I'm in a drive through a burger.
It's playing through.
Can I please get a number 2 with a large drink? I'm tolerant, I don't sip milk. If I don't cheese, I don't want that. And I'm getting hungry now. I know you heard that. Wait.
This needs to be
the growl
paired
was
up
from the song, yeah.
with "Stuck in the Drive-Thru" by Weird Al.
Also, that's the parody version actually, but it's pretty good. I like it.
Oh, survive map. I hate these maps.
Because you can't survive. You're really bad at that.
They're so annoying. Because I just want to keep going and killing, and sometimes you have to not do anything. You got to back up and wait.
You got to use strategy.
You have to use strategy in all of it. But I like, listen. You put one general in Africa smashing Romlin and his tanks, whatever his name is. You put a different general in the boats in Japan. I'm just saying. Archers, bows for archers, and swords for swordsmen. All right?
You shouldn't let your archers have bows. You should probably just bench them.
I swear, sweet Jesus.
Also, yeah, this is a hard map.
Cool.
Except for the fact that you get pent. It makes it easier.
I knew it! Weren't there 2 generals in Africa, Montgomery and Patton? Oh, I'm sure. I was just being, like, general. Get it? Didn't.
I'm gonna go to bed.
It's Rommel? His name is Rommel, right?
Yes, there is a general called Rommel. I'm assuming it was the guy that was in Africa, but I have no idea.
The German field marshal, yeah. It is. All right, you gotta go to bed?
I'm gonna go to open in the morning.
Okay.
Got up like 4 a.m.
Yeah, he got early.
Oof.
Later.
That was me this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go to bed pretty soon. See ya.
See ya.
So it'd be the 327.
So when
would
would you lock them up and throw away the key to save from the shoplifting?
Well, it wouldn't be. It would be charge them
What
seriously.
the heck kind of
hold
map
them
is this?
in waiting for their trial, and then convict them, prosecute them seriously. Yes.
But you're saying if we lock up those 327 essentially
Yes.
and don't let them out, we're going to have less shoplifting. That's
Yes.
what you're saying, right? All right.
So is the idea
you
that
don't know
I
data says.
When do
survive?
you know that it's those 327?
What's the issue here?
The
What are
first
you
time they
trying to
shop-
think?
Well, I'm just wondering, like, because there's this. Usually, I'm trying to like protect a throne, which would make me think that I need to protect this
Yeah.
castle. But all my guys
No,
are so far
so-
from the castle, it feels like it's not that.
So throne maps are called defend maps. So you're defending.
Oh,
the
this
throne.
one's just survival.
Survive
wars.
maps just mean you need to have like as many units as possible survive until the time limit. But also, you're about to get a very nice item. Did his chapter already start? No, it didn't. Right.
No. I'm doing.
So maybe leave a spot open on Lynn or Hector. Definitely on Hector. Probably on Lynn too, because you might want to use it on her.
Okay. Trying to think if I want. I don't know if I want Kent in this, but who else would I pick? Lucius?
There's actually a I was
there's
looking up the
Farina.
Tenma AI version of the drive-through at Burger King song.
What? Freaking AI. How many times does Logic say is biracial in the song, DR?
Uplift.
No, I mean, I'm talking about repeat offenders, so it would be when
Okay.
they have repeat.
That's what I'm
offenses.
asking. How many? So two.
Two.
Two shoplifting offenses
Yeah,
get
you
you
just-
locked up for as
Well,
long
you
as
have
you
more
want.
than twice,
prosecute
that means you die,
shoplifting
right?
and retail theft seriously.
Say what?
If you shoplift twice, that means you die, right?
Yeah,
That
exactly.
means you go to jail
Shoplifting,
forever.
death.
That means you go
I
to jail
got it.
forever.
I'm with it. I'm here for it. Shoplift, die. Don't shoplift. Don't take other people's shit. Doesn't seem that difficult to me. If you don't want Kent, you should bring Isadora instead. I don't think I want Heath either.
No, I mean you can just let her die then, or you can
Let-
train up Bartra right now.
You've been telling me not to use Bartra like the whole time, and now you're like,
No,
oh, use
Serranos
Bartra.
has. I want you to get him to level 5 promoted.
Level 5 promoted. What's he at? 4
He's
not?
at level 4 unpromoted.
Yeah, that's gonna take me all freaking day.
Yeah, you won't do it.
No, I won't do it. You figured me out. Serranos also says I can't promote Hector on this map, so don't bother.
You still need to open up a slot for him to get the item, I think. Unless it comes on someone else, which it might.
Okay, well, I'll just get his Brave Axe off.
Yeah, it's fair.
From the jump. The idea that this is a victimless crime is nonsensical. But let's say if you're arrested for 5 times, which by the way, again, it's 6,000 spread over 327 people, then we don't let you out without bail. Like a judge would be able to have judgment to determine that you are
Wow,
a repeat
crazy
offender
idea.
and you are held.
You're held.
Judges have
where do we
judgment.
put him in, like Rikers or something.
In a
5 times?
jail.
And there's
I
no,
like how he
uh,
goes immediately to Rikers. He doesn't just say like
Yeah,
held
that's
in
just
jail
such
or
a
prison.
shitty
Like,
way of arguing.
Let me bring up one of the worst prisons of all time, and pretend that that's where we're gonna put people.
Yeah, they should send straight to Rikers. Just straight there.
Just straight to Rikers. Where else are they gonna go? I mean, it's Rikers or nothing. Am I right?
Yeah.
No, you're not right. Shut up.
Uh-huh.
There's no dollar figure, right? We just
Well, aren't you against cash bail because poverty?
yeah, I
Got
I'm
him!
against cash bail.
Yeah. So I would want the judges right now. They can't assess dangerousness in the state of New York. I would want them to
Are
be able to
shoplifters
assess.
Dangerous?
Yes.
According to you?
Yes,
they're repeat offenders, and
oftentimes
eventually
dangerous.
a bunch of these people, when confronted, get into physical altercations, and people have been killed over that. I've covered multiple stories of Home Depot workers being killed. We find out that the person behind the theft that led to killing that worker was arrested a bunch of times for these so-called petty crimes. You could have got them off the streets, and then somebody dies over.
Oh, flip through your notes. Flip through your notes. Hurry! You gotta find it. Oh, he showed us the papers. We saw him, babe.
Killed by somebody who wanted a power drill. So yeah, I want those people off the streets for sure.
So what do you think drives crime?
What I think drives crime?
Yeah.
Well, I
what
think
creates crime?
policy. I think public policy has a big impact. There are people that are opportunistic that will commit crime if they think there are no consequences, whether they be social,
Yes,
or whether they be
consequence-less
through the criminal
crime.
justice system. And I've broken this down. You can think of it as a pyramid with 3 layers. The lowest part of the
Don't
pyramid
forget Waffle
is
House.
the criminal justice system, the actual consequences. And the reason why this is one of the lowest deterrents is and by the way, I'm not
The fact that you don't know where an employee was stabbed during a thing is probably the worst part. Ugh, that's so sad. Fucking people dying over shit. Who should I give the angelic robe to? I still haven't decided yet.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Maybe Pent. Just make him like extremely good.
Super Pent?
Yeah.
Probably do an Iron Lance to keep. Oh, I already did an Iron Lance. Give it. I don't want to give her a Killer Lance, I don't think. Maybe just more jab.
Yeah.
Is the voice in his head like Strong Bad though? Chugga 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 my pepper. Chugga 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 my pepper.
not making this up. This comes from criminal justice theory. The reason why this is one of the lowest deterrents.
I was assuming. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt that you're not.
But
I'm
just saying
stuff,
it's not my theory. But the deterrence
Not
doesn't
my
really
theory.
work. It's not really that effective because most people, when they commit a crime, don't think they're going to get caught. The next stage in that pyramid would be the social consequences. So if people will treat you like a pariah if you are arrested and convicted of a crime, that is a stronger deterrent against you committing crimes. And then the top of the pyramid, the number one thing is if you believe that the law is moral and or just, that is what's going to prevent you from criminality.
Oh, that's a good point. If
Okay,
you
and
actually
so,
think the law is good.
If you live in a
That makes
society
sense to me.
where everybody lives in around you lives in extreme poverty, do you think that numbers? I think was it 2 and 3 on your pyramid? I mean, in other words, so what would you do if I put you in charge of?
Yeah,
of
you're in
social
charge now.
policy,
Just
and you could be-
solve
you could be
all
king
the
for a day,
problems.
or
Yeah,
a
what's
couple
your
weeks or whatever it
solution
is.
for everything?
What would you do? Would you?
This
what
is
would
good
you
though,
do
because
to-
actually I don't
what do you
know
think the most
what
effective
Sean's
thing you
answer
could
is
do
here.
to fight? Like I say, there's always going to be some folks.
Stop talking! You just said what would be your solution. End of the question. Why are we still mumbling?
By the way, you need to not go attack the boss in the top right corner.
Okay.
Let them live.
My plan was to go south, unless attacking the boss stops the waves. That would
It
be
doesn't.
nice.
It won't. You
But
just need to let them live.
My
It's, like,
plan was
beneficial.
this village here first. Kill this
I mean,
guy.
Don't know if that has anything good in it.
But I think I can kill that guy without being at danger if I use Farina. But we'll see. The main reason is because you're gonna fucking die. Looking at her stat. Look at these stats. Oh, they've all got pluses. Why does she get pluses on all of them?
The weapon she's holding gives her plus stats because this game wanted to make her better without increasing her stats.
Oh, what a bitch move. She had a cool scar, though.
There's a glitch where you can actually get that weapon from her.
Oh,
but
you could actually
don't
steal
know-
it somehow?
But there's no way you're going to.
Funny.
Who, I don't know, like living on the edge and committing crimes. But broadly speaking, what would you do?
How do you mean?
Well, you
Nice.
just worked out a
Good
a
counter,
pyramid for
Sean.
us. So put that into practice, if that's the pyramid that you believe in.
Again, like how do you mean? Like I just told you what prevents people from committing crimes. Like how would I put that into practice? Are you talking about from a law enforcement point of view? It would depend entirely where I am because crime is different depending on the city. It's very much down to the local municipality. So if I was designing an intervention for New York City, it would be completely different than an intervention for the city of St. Louis or the city of Chicago. So again, like what do you mean?
Okay, what would you do in New York City, let's say, to deal with crime?
Arrest them.
Like I mean, I guess like when we're looking at the causes of crime, here,
Unlock
and you
the
just
judges to
laid out
arrest
some type
them.
Of pyramid. It sounded like you discounted the
Use it on
punishment
Lynn.
one, which was the widest one, right? I mean,
Yeah,
am I
well,
understanding that?
deterrence actually, but yes.
Yeah, but that doesn't deter. You don't think that deters because people don't think they're going to get caught.
Yeah, a lot of people don't think they're going to get caught. So that's why
So
I'm in
it's
favor.
not a function of cops in terms of like.
No, you misunderstand.
Yeah.
Deterrence is not that effective of a strategy from a law enforcement level, but that doesn't mean incapacitation is not an effective strategy. So
So locking up
incapacitation
more
would
people.
be removing repeat offenders.
And so locking up more people, but how would you get there? I guess is what you're talking about.
The first thing I would do in the state of New York, because again, it is dependent on the area, is that I would get rid of bail reform law and allow judges to have judgment. I think it's ridiculous.
Yes, I
the way
knew
we
it.
Operate in the city of New York. If we're concerned about people that are poor that can't afford
Let
their bail
judges
for lower
judge.
crimes, I understand that. I would reduce the bail amounts, but what I need is for the judges to be able to assess dangerousness.
Dangerousness. So you're only talking violent crimes.
Or repeat offenders, like the
So
original
only
bail
the
reform
violent
only
ones,
amended it to remove
right?
certain
Not the
things. Didn't even
non-violent
factor in
ones.
bail jumping as a crime
That's-
that could get you held. So if you didn't show up
Says something.
for court,
So that's all
But
you're
now
talking
that's
about.
changed. When did that change?
they might have changed that.
So that thing you said 2 seconds ago, is that all you're saying? Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. You got it.
I know we've been talking to like an hour, but like that thing you just said.
So is
the
that
core
your
of the
only
business?
point? It's like,
So that's why we're here, because of fucking violent offenders. There's nothing else.
Removing repeat offenders would be tough because people would know if I do this more than once and get caught, I might be next in the popo.
Yeah. So
But if they take the
stop
stuff
committing
and then try to
crime.
fence it to acquire, say, drugs, doesn't that tend to end up being upgraded? So you're saying that they let them get away with the crime in order to then punish them with more crime next time? Is that the idea that I'm hearing there? Not a fan of that idea. Like I think you should arrest people that are committing crimes, period, and trying to be like, oh, now you've committed bigger crime. Only if you're like if you're on a squad and you're hunting down a drug ring and you see them steal some lady's purse, maybe let them continue with that one because you're like working on like a drug sting. But if you catch someone stealing something, just arrest them, send them to a judge, have the judge figure out what's going to go on with them. I don't think it's all that difficult necessarily. You remember reading or hearing law enforcement would say that drug seekers that steal to pay for their habits tend to end up committing violent crimes. Oh, yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. This is different than the rich kid that just wants to get a blow. Yeah. But if you catch them stealing the first time and you arrest them and they go to jail for some amount of time, You lowered the amount of time that they have on the streets where they could commit that next crime. So I think you still, you know, come out on top when it comes to all that.
Maybe.
Eh? 92?
That specific portion, but I know they
Don't forget
removed.
that,
They used to have
Priscilla can't
aggravated
die.
vehicular manslaughter as a charge that was not bail eligible, and they did change that. So, like, yeah, there have been some changes to it. They actually update it every year around April when the budget comes in. So I'm not exactly sure which specific crimes, but I want judges to be able to assess repeat offenders. I don't want to be in a position where they cannot hold somebody as long as they commit this crime, and then they're incentivized to recommit the same crime over and over again.
So you want, let's say,
Forced
you'd be
drug
okay with,
rehab?
like,
That does sound good.
judge's discretion on bail if it's someone who has been arrested for 5 times on the same crime. Is that it?
Yeah,
Judges
depending on the crime, of
discretion
course.
for bail.
If it's jaywalking,
Period.
I don't care about jaywalking.
You don't think people should
Why?
be
Yeah.
arrested for
Why do you
jaywalking?
need to
No.
pin him down on a specific number of crimes?
What if
that
they
need to be
commit the crime 3 times?
Hey, you want to hear a joke? 23. Like, fucking hell. This guy's literally fucking SpongeBob and Patrick trying to figure out a fucking number.
I mean,
True.
even ticketing, it's New York City. I mean, everybody crosses every which way, you
Right.
know.
But you think that's the most important thing, bail reform?
I think bail reform is a huge deal in the state of New York, and it impacts almost every county. I believe when the governor's race was going on, we had something like 98% of counties, or 98 out of like.
You kind of think it's not the number of counts, but the number of arrests and times being processed. I think Sean's entire point, if I can summarize it, is let the judges judge. And right now, the judges aren't allowed to judge. I believe what he's talking about is in New York, statutorily, they cannot make a judgment based on the history of the offender. And just unlock them to be able to judge based on the history of the offender. It's simple. We pay judges to do judge work. Let them judge. Let the boy watch. Problem is that the people needs to want to quit to in order to be effective. Otherwise, it's just a revolving door. Oh, you're talking about rehab.
Yeah.
101 counties. I don't remember exactly how many counties, so it might have been a percentage that saw an increase in crime.
So you discount the bottom part about deterrent on that pyramid. What was
Yeah,
the
deterrence
second?
is the lowest and one of the least effective.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't get why that's on the but
I don't get
the
it.
bottom that you think is
Yeah,
the
we
least
know.
effective.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure
And
what
then
you
the
meant by
middle one
that.
is what's the next one?
That would be like societal pressure. If you feel like
why
you're
go that
going
way?
to be an outcast from your community.
That's towards the boss.
But oh, that's right. The boss is a.
Yeah, you just ignore the castle.
Oh, okay. Got
And
it.
give Lynn that damn heaven seal, because it's good.
Who has it right now?
Hector.
Oh,
But he can't use it.
why can't he use it?
Because he ain't ready.
He ain't ready.
He ain't the guy yet. Lynn's the guy.
Oh. I'll wait for the second opinion just to make sure that I'm true.
No,
on
no,
that.
like Serrano's 100% agrees. Hector can't use it. Elliott's kind of ass right now. Just use on Lynn.
He says because story reasons.
Yeah, that's why Hector can't use it. You gotta use Lynn.
Okay.
Or Elliott. You can choose to use Elliott. Use on Elliott. But those are your choices.
But I don't want to save it for later?
No, you get one for each later.
Okay.
Or yeah, you get one for each total, but you gotta choose who to use on first.
All right. I'll do that.
Or treated like a pariah, like the social pressure that keeps you in line.
Okay, and then social pressure, right? And so how
hold
would
on to
you
that for a second.
increase how would you increase that social pressure?
You know,
Well, I think we
pressure
should
them socially.
Do more to stigmatize criminals for sure. Like, we should
How would
stop
you
doing this.
stigmatize? How would you stigmatize?
Well,
criminals
I
more?
would stop treating them like
God,
they're
you
Aladdin,
sophist
like your
fuck.
co-host does, where they're just like thieves with a heart of gold.
Blade
I
Lord.
would stop like sympathizing with them and
How
sympathize
many-
with the victims.
Okay, so we.
And I can use
in the
bows.
case of
That's
shoplifting,
cool.
we should sympathize with like Walmart or something more, and
We should sympathize with the community who has to pay for
Ooh,
that in higher
support.
prices, or the people who lose their jobs because these stores shut down. We should sympathize with these
you
people
think
that have to
stores
end up
shut down
that have
because
to
of
end up traveling further due to the fact that there's
Was he about to say, do you think stores shut down because of like theft? The answer is yes. There's entire areas where stores are leaving because they're getting too much theft.
AJW just did a fucking video on this too.
Oh, I bet.
Like days before this, he did a video on it.
Oh, finish that question, Sam. I want to see you get your ass blown out.
stores in their area. Yeah, we should sympathize with them rather than the opportunistic thieves.
Okay, and so you think that there's thieves out there that Emma's walking amongst, and they're all like.
That Emma's walking amongst? No, I would never say that. I would never think she would actually.
You
live
think the
amongst
thieves are
criminals
watching
that
the
she
show?
protects.
You think the thieves are watching the show and they're going, "It's okay."
No, it's not just the majority report per se, but there's this general dismissive nature towards these retail thieves. Like you can see it on.
How is
every,
this not
on every
obvious?
reply in the
Exactly.
videos. Like now, there's
Has
people
that
that are
changed over
definitely
time?
against it.
Has that changed over time?
I think yes, people have become more sympathetic to people.
When Anna Kasparian comes out and says, I was assaulted in public, and everyone's like, don't be racist. I think we can all agree there's a problem with how people are perceiving this. Like that, I remember that whole thing was that was insane. And then to have it come out that they were white guys and it was like not even a race thing if you tried. It was even more of a like, okay, what is the point here?
And possibly due to the fact that we had the pandemic, so the excuse is that these people
Well, wait
are
a second,
struggling.
dude. Why was there this huge drop in crime?
Fire mitigation. Discover sellinc.com.
Why was this huge drop in crime? Why did that take place? So in 1990, for instance,
That's a cool
let's
bow.
say, or 87, people were
Okay,
too
Luis is pretty
sympathetic
cool.
to
Yeah, we like
shoplifters,
Luis.
and then in the 90s, later in the 90s, they were less sympathetic to shoplifters, and that's why it went down.
Well, no, there is an overall sentiment change. I mean, for you to not acknowledge this is ridiculous. Like, go look at Joe Biden on the floor of the Senate pushing the crime bill and listen to the way Joe Biden talks about crime now. I'm into. I
Crime
want to
was
date
high. My point is, crime was higher
1990s Joe Biden. Yeah, they're
1990s
passing a law. They're passing
1990s
a
Joe
law.
Biden was harsher on crime, and crime began to drop precipitously.
Yes.
Yes.
Crime started to drop,
Okay.
or drop nationwide.
Are
after
you
that
are you
crime bill
tracking
passed.
here,
Oh, I see what
Sam?
you're saying. And then.
Oh, I see what you're
and
saying.
then crime shot up. Like when? When did
wheels
we
are
start as
turning.
a society? Just in the past 2 years, have we gotten more sympathetic to shoplifters?
I do think people have become more
like a
sympathetic
penny
to
press.
criminals and less sympathetic to the police. 100%. I
But
don't know about your
is it
coverage.
is it about the police, or is it about the criminals? I thought it was
Well, we're
really
talking about
stigma.
It's about the
attitudes
police
related to
criminals.
crime in the criminal justice system. So yeah,
Okay.
when I talk about retail thefts, there's a lot of excuse making. I'm sure you have people on your staff that have said it's no big deal, or my favorite one where it's like wage theft actually is more than the retail theft, you know,
Why
as
is
if
that-
wage
why are
theft
you
isn't
mocking
spread
that?
out over the entire
Why?
economy.
Why would you mock that? Because it's mockable. We've looked it up before. I think vehicle theft outpaces wage theft when you look at the numbers. Like, it's not even like a blip. And these people act like it's the end of the world.
But it is.
It's the end of my world. Sam's wheels need more time to turn.
Simple. I got wage theft, then I sue.
He thought that was lube, Geminire. It wasn't lube.
He's level 4.
He did it. Woohoo!
As if that has anything to do with what we're talking about in the first
Well,
place.
wait a second. You just said the problem You just said the problem
You just said
with shoplifting is what it does to the community. You don't think wage theft? There is like.
Shut up, background guy.
Understand wage theft to be on an annual basis.
Well, I know that you guys like to use the 2013 chart because it has a very big disparity that comes from the Economic Policy Institute.
What do you think the wage? Well, I mean, it's not just the Economic Policy Institute, but what do you put wage theft at?
I would put it at the tens of billions. I think the number that you guys often cite is around 50 billion. Even
tens
though
of billions? I don't even know if that's true.
But you
no,
know,
the wages recovered.
Yeah,
wages recovered was closer to I think 20 billion, but
closer
the
to
annual,
20 bill,
I mean,
20
the
billies.
I've seen are anywhere from like $3 to $6 billion annually, because you don't always recover it. I mean, at all. But you think that loss
the recovered would be 20 billion, but the annual
20 billion over the course of
6?
10 years.
Over the course of 10 years.
Yeah, that's the stat that the DOJ.
Even if he believes there's wage theft, this is two different crimes potentially, and in theory you
point is,
prosecute
I just
both.
wanna be clear.
Oh my gosh, Veritax, you would
Shoplifting-
prosecute white collar and blue collar crimes? What kind of crazy centrist argument is that?
Hurts a
Yeah, that's
community
weird.
more.
I don't like that.
Goofball?
Then
No,
people-
get out of here.
More. It's just a different
We're gonna put you in a
problem.
home
So
for
what
talking
you're
like
doing
Well,
is
it's crime.
so what you guys
Baby's
do
getting
is
paid.
I
Is that not
talk about
crime?
a problem, or someone like me talks about a
But wait,
problem.
Sean, is that
and
not
then
a
you
crime?
say, hey, look at
Don't
this
get
other
meta.
problem
Don't get
because
meta.
two
Just
wrongs
address.
makes a who
Don't
cares.
get mad.
Don't get meta. Just address the issue.
Oh, don't get meta.
This is
I
wage
told him
theft,
not get mad.
right? We both agree it's a crime.
Yeah, you shouldn't do it, and I'm in favor of
Well,
them
it's
recovering
illegal.
it and
It's not just.
prosecuting
It's
it.
not. It's
Yes.
illegal. Okay.
I just said I'm
So-
in favor of the
so-
prosecution of it.
And in fact, we're talking about the same people too, right? Like, because when you say, well, people don't
Are we?
sympathize with a corporation when there is shoplifting and it's going to hurt the workers there and the community because of high prices, and presumably, high prices
kill
are going
all of
to
them?
hurt low-income people more than
Well,
others.
to be clear,
Well,
we're
I
not.
just want to be clear. I just want to be clear what you're
just
saying.
wanna be clear.
We're not talking.
That
Baby
is-
can't do
how
white
is that
collar crime.
really not hitting the exact same players.
Well, Sam, we're not talking about the same people because, again, wage theft is spread out over the entire economy. When we talk about retail theft, that typically, now I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, involves the retail sector. So what you're actually doing is
Where do you think
expanding the
wage theft is
denominator.
highest?
I would think probably in government contracts, a lot of these have issues with the Davis-Bacon law where they're underpaying. It
Yep.
probably is in major
Yep.
corporations. where
Oh
they're
man,
getting overtime.
look at those eyebrows. Let me look and see who's cutting the budget in Congress. Why? Oh yes, I finally get to talk about how Republican bad. Don't give him this opening, Sean. Don't do it. Oh, he did it though. He opened it up.
I think it's in a lot of different places, but I do know that a lot of illegal immigrants in the United States of America are entitled to the wages under Davis-Bacon, and they often get cheated. And it is a great moment years later, although sometimes their lives are ruined, when investigators find out that they're backdated pay and they give them a huge check. So I would think it happens in multiple different sectors, not just retail, but yeah, and it has multiple different forms.
I mean, all right. So
hold on, I got it.
on shoplifting. That's the crime. The
Well, when we
retail
talk about
He just filled a bucket. You can tell, right? Right here.
theft, that typically now I'm
Hold on, let me pause it. All right, you ready? Here it comes. He's about to fill a bucket.
not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, involves
And-
the retail sector. So what you're actually doing is
Where do you think
expanding the
wage theft
denominator.
is highest?
I would think probably in government contracts, a lot of these have issues. with
Whoa!
Davis-Bacon law,
Filling that
where
bucket. Look at those eyebrows, and you can tell that his background bros were like, "Oh shit, yeah, the government is underpaying all these people, and we can't link it directly to Republicans." Sorry, because he doesn't go back to it. Oh man. That's a good moment,
underpaying,
Sean.
and
Way to
probably
get that
just
from
paying
him.
the
You're just keying in on shoplifting. That's the crime. The
Well, when we
retail
talk about
sector is
retail theft,
crime.
we typically talk about retail theft.
No, I
You're
understand.
doing a two wrongs makes a who cares.
No, I'm just saying. I just find
That's
it
a great.
curious.
I like that.
But
That's my
that's
method.
fine. You
Two
were the one
wrongs
who brought
make a
up
who
wage.
cares.
I just
Well,
want to be clear.
yeah,
on that.
because it's a
I
common
didn't-
retort by people who are trying to
Don't
deflect
get
off
so
the issue.
meta. Then we won't get hung up on these things.
It's also,
and
you know,
so-
nobody talks about stealing from your employer, which many years is actually higher than wage theft. But, you know, there's that too.
Okay.
And he's not.
Yeah, I
he's
don't,
gonna skip that one.
I guess nobody talks
And we
about it.
move on.
It's not on the charts that you present from the Economic Policy Institute.
I mean, dude, you brought up wage theft.
Yeah,
I
because
don't
it's
know
a
what to
common
tell you.
Yeah,
report, I've
and
seen it
defeated
brought
your
up on the
argument.
show.
What now?
Well,
Yeah,
wage
it's
theft
one.
is
It's an argument
issue.
you make.
I never
But
said it
we've
wasn't.
also brought up, you know, that corporations lie about how much they're getting, how much they're suffering from from you know petty theft. I mean, Walmart, I think executives admitted that on a call with financiers. They Walgreens.
So
blow it up.
you're talking
Walgreens.
about a Walgreens executive where
Yeah.
he said, or she, I don't remember, I think it might have been a woman, that it was that we may have overstated this.
Oh,
on
I know
this
what the problem
specific
is. This
Walgreens
is-
call. But I do
they're talking
remember
too slow.
when Walgreens got into it with London Breed, who claimed that it was completely overstated, and they clarified about 4 times that they closed due to the
1.5
specifically
good
in San
enough.
Francisco. And honestly, it should be alarming that these stores are closing in left-wing cities disproportionately, considering the giant subsidy that they got from the vaccines. Remember, these corporations were essentially given welfare by being able to be the distributors of these vaccines. That draws people into the stores, and yet at the same time, there's a giant reduction in the number of storefronts in these areas. So you would think in places
I'm
where
sure
they actually
COVID had
higher
nothing to do with the closure of those
well,
stores.
COVID actually had everything to do with the boost in business because these were the distributors of the vaccine.
No, I understand they would distribute the vaccine, but you're also aware that, like, you know, people's purchasing patterns changed dramatically during COVID. There's a lot of like restaurants that closed. There's a lot
Yeah, I mean,
of.
they closed restaurants.
What does restaurants have to do with the
All right, and so,
pharmaceutical industry?
You think we need to stigmatize
Criminals for sure, 100%.
criminals more, and that will do it. And how do you think we stigmatize criminals? Like what?
Unpaid OT, misusing exempt employees, failing to pay per diem when required. Yeah, and the other side, the employee that stays clocked in through lunch, the employee that fudges their time card. Like they steal both ways. Is either one good? No, they should both be stopped.
What do you mean? He lets me do that. He let me do that.
Yeah. What do you mean? I just clock in at the beginning of the day. I clock out at the end of the day.
No, like he's told me to do that, so I don't mind doing that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's
he
different.
chill. Exactly. I also only take one break when I'm like entitled to like 4, but it doesn't matter.
4 breaks? Oh, like a 15, a lunch, a 15, and then if you're on long enough, one
Yeah.
more lunch.
Well, not the 4th one. It's 3 breaks or 2 breaks, but like I only take 1 because who cares?
Yeah, it gets there are some jobs I've had where it's like, let me just finish the job, and then I'll worry about breaks.
Exactly. Like I take my lunch break and then that's it.
That's an
I take my
important
15-minute
break.
lunch break. Yeah. And I just go into the kitchen and make myself food and then I eat it. And then I just make sure that's 15 minutes because I'm autistic like that.
Good. That's a good kind of autism.
No, my last boss was a huge dick about making sure you're taking the exact amount of time you need for your break and shit.
Nice. It is you can get in a lot of trouble if your employees don't take their breaks. So I understand the autism, but it is annoying from the employee side of things for sure.
Yeah, because the employee's just like, yeah, but like I can just agree to work through my break. Like legally.
Oh yeah, the hour lunch. That's the one that I always liked Veritex. Plus, I've had jobs that'll pay the flat it's a 410. They'll pay you a flat 10 when you're done, and I'm like, the fuck, I'm taking a break. So I sign like a little waiver that's like, yes, if the L&I comes in and is like, hey, you're not taking breaks, then I can say, yes, I am not taking breaks. That is correct.
No,
Elliewood, you can't
there's
damage
actually a
this
guy
guy.
at my place that works double shifts. I don't even know if he clocks out for his hour-long lunch break.
Oh man, Elliewood
'Cause he
could
does
die if I leave
full
him
day shift.
to not do anything.
Yeah, he's only level 4. Maybe he gets a seraph robe.
Yeah, just so that I don't lose him on accident.
I mean, it probably won't even help, really.
What part of society? Like, we know that there's, and you don't believe, do you believe there's a correlation between poverty and extreme poverty with crime?
Yes, I know for a fact that crime drives poverty in the United States of America. And
Oh,
there's a
boom!
correlation.
Do you
Eaten
think that there is a
by
correlation
facts
between
and logic.
that poverty drives crime?
Yes.
No.
I'm sorry,
Do you
crime drives
believe the
poverty.
opposite?
Yeah, okay. I'm asking you specifically, I know that you're arguing that you think crime creates poverty, but I'm asking you now, do you think that poverty creates crime?
I think in certain circumstances, I'm sure it could happen if you go down to a certain level for sure. But I think that
What does
in
that
order
mean
to
if you go
build,
down to a certain level? What does
yeah,
that mean?
if you're like, well, we have like, well, actually, even that is a bit of a dubious notion. So like American poverty, like you would acknowledge, is relative poverty compared to poverty in like the third world.
I mean,
Like, you understand that somebody in the United States of America
Yes.
in poverty would be under $12,000,
Say yes.
which would be different from somebody who's living on $1.50 a day. Like
well, you
under
understand
$12,000.
that poverty is really a function of purchasing power, right?
Well,
purchasing
poverty is
power
a
could have an
function of purchasing power.
that's-
Are you
that's-
trying to? Are you
Yeah,
trying to
I mean,
get?
all poverty measures
Yeah,
are
yeah,
a function
for,
of,
you
of
can
the state,
adjust
right?
it for, yeah, sure.
I mean, I mean, if you have no stories, there'd be no topics on there, and that's not really relevant. But okay, yes, I understand that.
You
Yes,
typically need
if you are living in America and you are poor, theoretically, well, you have access to more stuff.
Not
than, let's say,
theoretically.
somewhere else.
You do have access to better stuff.
Okay,
Mhm.
all right, and
Period.
Yeah, so you're talking about relative poverty. So I'm saying at a certain amount, yes, when there's like genuine desperation, like I could see circumstances where that's happening. But what we typically see
Ugh,
is
that
that crime
seems
is driving the
risky.
poverty. Like when these people steal from their
Yeah.
areas, when
what
they
do you
damage
think
places.
drives crime?
What I think drives, I think people, a certain percentage of the
People
population
drive
is going
crime,
to be criminal,
like
and
a
it's going to be
car.
from society. So I would say human nature would be a good example.
Human nature?
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
small percentage of the population that exhibits like a deviant kind of behavior.
Okay, so what do you think drives the majority of crime?
Just said that.
Oh, you think it's just people who are born
That's
criminals?
me. I'm the
I wouldn't
bad
say
boy.
born criminals, but people who, when you don't have the proper deterrents in place,
I'm a
will commit crimes, yes.
bad guy.
And those deterrents could be police deterrents, like I said earlier,
Okay,
or
wait,
social deterrents, or
but
whatever.
not like everybody is
Fucking
subject to the same deterrents,
The
right?
Fed.
Not necessarily.
Billy
Feds
Ellis.
do it.
Explain this.
I'll give
Because
you, so I'll give you an example. So in New York City, disproportionately, the people who live in public housing
What
happen to be
drives
Orthodox
crime?
Jewish people, right?
The
They do
ATF.
not commit crimes
Right.
at the same rates as other demographics. They're in fact among the lowest. They commit crimes near around where Asians do. So they're probably better than your average middle-class white person in the city of New York. I think that they have a stronger social structure
Nice
than
dodge,
other
Hollywood.
groups in the United States of America, even if
Oh
they're
hell yeah!
equivalent in
He ain't
poverty
gonna
levels.
double but.
so if I was to look at like the incarceration rates of black people, for instance,
Sure.
relative to white
Oh,
people,
he
your
did.
argument would be that there's
Was that a
something
crit
fundamental
and it
about their
didn't
social
even
structure
kill the guy?
that is
Yeah.
why that we see those incarceration rates higher.
Well, it would be based on their behavior for the one-to-one, but if you're asking me for like an underlying cause to the behavior, which by the way I don't care about because root causes are not more important than any other cause. Let's be clear about that. So this is just like another rabbit hole, pointless like argument that has nothing to do with the subject matter, in my opinion. It's not useful or productive. But yeah, I would say that there are definitely.
How did I
cultural
miss an
differences
83?
between- what were the groups?
Get outta
You said
here.
Black Americans and white Americans.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely cultural differences between Black Americans and white Americans, and more tolerance to criminality. And by the way, there's differences between Black New Yorkers and Black people in Chicago, and that's also reflected in the rates. And I think that does lead to different outcomes in terms of criminal justice.
And you think it's unrelated to things like poverty or systemic racism or?
Well, if we're going
Ah,
to use
yes,
poverty as the metric,
systematized
and we compare
race.
poor Black Americans to poor Asians or poor Hispanics, and by the way, Hispanics commit more crimes on average, but less than Black Americans, then obviously poverty is not the determining factor if the crime rates vary wildly
well,
within
I have
groups
an
in the same
analogy for
status.
you. When you build in a house.
Oh, that's way cooler.
And you have different,
You've never built a house in your damn life, Sam Cedar. I
We are aware.
doubt it. You have moved your ass to Hollywood or New York and tried to pursue your acting comedy career, and now you're here and you're gonna act like you got some kind of blue collar. When you're drilling joists so that you can run wire, when you're stuck with the broom because you're the new guy, then you can talk about when you build a house. You know shit about building houses. This is like, I heard a freaking clip on one of these the other day that was like, it was Vosh. He's like, I bet this isn't even to code. They didn't even do it to code. And I was like, fuck code. Who cares about code? Code is just a way for them to tax you more. Hate it. Welcome, Jab. Thank you for the haircut. Sam built a sand castle with his bucket. Those poopy castles.
Have different foundations and you
Merci
pull one out.
beaucoup for the
So I
haircut.
mean, poverty
Yeah, I think
may
with the
not
key
be the
interval-
determinant, but maybe when you mix poverty with other sort of like structural factors in society, people's have less reason to feel a stigma about crime or less reason to be invested in society. But
Like,
you don't.
Can you
subscribe to
give
that.
an example?
Can I give an example?
Yeah.
Of this other factor.
Well, I mean, I think that like if you
Yeah,
have
Kanye
been stuck in
West.
extreme poverty for extended periods of time, if you live in a society where it is harder for you to find housing or loans or to get out of a specific area in which you're living, if you have been subjected to a socialization that labels
Why-
you as a criminal,
So socialization labeling you as a criminal, and you're just like, well, guess I am. What makes them think they're a criminal?
The socialization.
or that your activity just walking
If you sleep on your side, I bet you hate your
Pillow Cube commercial. I told you it's Pillow
He might
Cube.
be as fluffy as a cloud.
around is criminal, that it might create.
What is socialization anyway? It's your family. It's your family.
They're all about that fam.
Who's being arrested for walking around?
Well, not arrested, but harassed. I mean, I think you wouldn't deny it.
Kanye
Your argument
is.
would be there's more violent crime in certain areas, and that's why there's more cops. But we also know that, I mean, if you're a black teen and you're walking the streets in some neighborhoods, you are far more likely to get stopped and harassed by the cops than if you're a white
I
teen.
wouldn't say harassed, but you are more likely to interact with police. Yes,
Okay.
there's more police there.
I mean, I think from the perspective of that person who is interacting with the police after having.
I
done
think
nothing,
they've been
they perceive it as harassment.
For sure, if I was a law-abiding person in a black neighborhood and I had to interact with the police due to the fact that criminals are acting up in my neighborhood, then that would get under my skin. I mean,
But if you were like pulled over in like your car, I mean, I've told this story on the show many times, but I was an actor back in the day.
Buddy, just because there's a strike doesn't mean that they're not resolved.
No, that's true. I do some voice work, but nevertheless, I was on a sitcom at one point, and it was a majority black cast. And one of the buddies was we went back to his place and we pull in into the underground driveway parking lot, and a buddy of his pulls in behind us, and he's got one of those Range Rovers, and at that time that was a very popular car in L.A. with like the Hollywood set. This is back in the 90s. And he pulls in. He's like, "Thank God you're here. I just got. I was getting followed again by the cops. I've been pulled over 4 times in the past 2 months.
Oh no!
And they checked to see if I own the car. And I called the police department to see if I could get a sticker or something. And
they always check to see if you own the car. That's part of the start of the thing. Is license and registration. Is this car yours? Have you been in control of the car the whole time? All of these things are part of a normal ass stop. It happens to me every time.
No, they aren't. No.
When I drove ratty ass racers, when I drive nicer cars, it's all the same. Garbage.
Have you considered that they racist though?
You know what? I had forgotten that part. That they racist dough.
See, stay winning, boys. You just gotta
So the
remind.
sergeant literally said, "Are you black?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "There's nothing I can do." Now, if you're a law-abiding citizen and you're driving the car that you earned and you bought the car and you're getting that type of harassment, you don't think it impacts your perspective on society?
No, I think it does. And this is Los Angeles. And what time period?
Follow-up question, Sean. Did that guy commit crimes?
Well, of course.
Oh, well, I guess then it happens.
It was in the 90s.
No, I mean,
there's
it's
obviously,
just
you know,
weird.
But
It's a
you
weird
just
thing.
conceded to me that
Yeah,
this
no, I
happens
think
to
that can impact your
17-year-old
attitude,
boys in
I mean, you
New
could call
York
me
City.
crazy, but I don't think you're saying that your friend turned into a criminal because he was pulled over. He seemed like he was.
There it is.
annoyed.
There it is.
I think if that happened to me, and I didn't have a nice car, but rather I just got stopped every time I walk out of my house, or stopped, I don't know, once a month every time I'm out of my house, which is not hard to
And you
find.
start
as an
committing
experience.
rapes? Like I don't.
No,
where
I
are you
would
going
start
with this?
having a far less respect for society and a far less perspective on that. Yeah, I definitely think that.
I mean, look, I
but
understand you don't watch my like you don't watch any of my videos or anything like that. But I said repeatedly, I think the warning needs to be brought back in terms of policing. I think writing tickets for expired registration when you're in areas with elevated rates of shootings, all that does is piss people off and turn the community against you.
That is
so there's
true.
Definitely better
We do
ways
hate
to
you when you
implement
do that,
policy to get the
cops.
community on your side. Like I've been a huge advocate for consent searches, which is and this started in St. Louis in the 90s, which is if you're afraid that your kid is involved in a gang or might have a gun or might get shot, they have a high rate of youth homicides, still high to this very day, then you can call the police, consent to a search. They'll look for contraband, but they won't arrest your kid. I think that, and they'll send your kid.
I
to
think this is a
diversion
great
before
idea.
they
I
get
actually
to
didn't
shooting
know
and all
about
that.
this.
So I think that is a good policy to build community relations with the police. Like the way that you're speaking is as if I don't believe in that, even though I think that's absolutely crucial to the police being effective.
okay, all right. Well, I think this was productive, Sean.
Was it?
And I appreciate you coming on.
I don't believe you.
Are you happy?
Yeah, thank you.
Are you happy?
Thank you for having the conversation.
No.
Listen, I know you want people that have been ducking you and all that, and this is what prompted me to just ask for the conversation. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, no,
You
I
did-
say yes to just about everybody. Maybe too much, but
Yeah, and
I
you
do.
didn't, and you didn't have to do it. Like a lot of people immediately
Maybe
assume
too
because
much.
I issued the challenge and like they didn't hear a like direct announcement on a billboard or something that like I was somehow entitled to it. I obviously not entitled to it. I thank you for your time. You've been quite gracious during the course of this conversation, even if there were parts where I felt like you were trying to get me on a gotcha. But thank you for your time.
Well, I mean, I was just exploring. I don't know what you mean by gotcha. I've never seen any of the other stuff you've done. But,
Shut up, dude.
I
Just
appreciate
I
it.
don't know
Actually,
what
I
you
got a
mean by
question for you.
gotcha, but I mean, I'll
You're into
get
criminal
you.
Justice, right? Or you don't like the criminal part. Actual justice, right? You don't like the adjective beforehand. What did you think when and I will concede I did not see the whole Tim Pool interview with you guys, with you and Emma. Did you think that she was a pedophile after that conversation?
No.
So did you see that when Tim accused her of being a pedophile from what was said in that conversation?
I didn't see that specific clip, but I have heard about it. And if he said like she's a pedophile or whatever, then that's totally uncalled for and unprompted.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That sounded weird to me, but I appreciate you're saying that.
I appreciated Tim having me on, but I'm not an employee of his or anything like that. Even though on the later show I said I moved into his property.
I did not see that, but have fun there. I heard he's got a great skate park.
He does. I'm not a skateboarder, but it's a skateboarder's paradise, presumably.
Nice. Okay, we did it. You didn't understand what he just said they did. They didn't do anything. That's the point. That's the problem. That's the Sam Cedar dilemma. Dileme, as I like to call it. Hope Elliowood doesn't die. He'll survive. He'll be fine.
He chillin'.
He'll be all right. Make sure one of these things is dead. Oh boy. So now we know why Sam Cedar doesn't get invited to talk to things. I went from wondering who this guy was to now seeing him talk to two separate people, as well as one of his assistants talk to Tim Pool. And now I'm like, I get it. I get it. I laughed and called Steven Crowder a weirdo when Sam Cedar popped up when he was supposed to be debating Ethan Klein on something and then just wouldn't be on the camera for a bit. But now I get it. Now it makes perfect sense. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't talk to that guy. He's kind of an ass.
Elliowood's definitely gonna die.
Elliowood's fine.
No.
He's got that streamer luck on him.
Okay, fair enough.
Watch him survive. Because I would have laughed at a Crowder and Ethan Klein debate. That would have been funny and fun. But to see Sam Cedar talk to anyone is mind-numbing at best.
Yeah.
Very, very dumb. Very frustrating. Let's not do this. Let's not do that again. Let's leave him out of the cultural zeitgeist for a little bit. I'd rather talk red pill stuff, I think, than look at Sam Cedar again. Ooh, Priscilla with the fire.
Well, then you're in luck.
Alrighty, so this is the H3 podcast channel. This is leftovers, which means that it is the Hassan and Ethan Klein. Look at these two paragons of humanity. Just soak that in for a second. Oh, yep, he died. He died. Why do I have to have Elliowood in this one?
Because you get Heaven Seal.
Oh, and so you just have to have all of them so that you can pick which one gets it?
Yeah.
Alrighty, we're going to skip ahead to the segment where they discuss the Twitch React meta.
Don't you like you do the same shit? Don't you hypocrite? Don't. That's how I imagine XQC commented on it.
Thank you, XQC.
Basically, yeah, that was XQC's entire thing. With chat. I mean, with chat. With chat. This is like tiny bony arms like up in the frame of his like chair and everything. I'm like, what the hell, dude? Why are you always calling out the chat? Your chat's flying by at like 1 billion miles a second. So here we go. The chair reactor himself
arguing with someone in chat.
Yeah, I think he'll see like one chat here or there and potentially be able to like comment on it, but I don't see him being able to comment on much more than that. So we have the chair reactor himself, and then the guy that won the fair use case for YouTube. and they're going to talk about the new React meta, and we're going to react to them talking about the React meta.
Finally being a guy that like people yell at when they think of like, oh, Twitch streamers fucking suck.
Well, to be totally honest with you, dude, I don't like XQC. I think he sucks. I don't care anymore.
I think he sucks.
I mean, he's definitely an interesting figure.
He's an infringer. He's a sellout.
Ooh, a sellout. Sellout from what?
I think he sucks.
Sellout from Canada? What are you saying?
He sold
there?
his fans out big time for some goddamn gambling money. Yeah, I got it. So what is the conversation happening right now?
I like how Ethan Klein is fine with sports betting, but thinks that like kick and stake are the bane of the world. Like if you're going to fall into gambling, there is no difference. They are equally bad for you.
I just don't get how you could defend kick ever. Ever.
Yeah, I guess that's his only point is Bitcoin bad.
Yeah.
The conversation, I believe, started around Lemino's new JFK assassination video.
I believe. Shut up. You know exactly what
You mean
this
the
is
one
about.
the one you racked up like 50K views on YouTube on?
He literally is like
Yeah.
what a dishonest piece of shit.
Weasley little liar, dude.
You actively know that you're like a huge part of this discussion. You're not gonna just own it.
That specifically covers the book depository aspect. And I'm actually very excited to see all the other angles as well, like specifically the grassy knoll.
Acting like he cares. This is the same guy who, when asked, hey, can you just show my name on screen or can you just give me a shout out, a retweet? Didn't. And he's like, oh, I can't wait for the next one that's going to be the only thing my stream talks about that day so I can eat food and walk away. Like, you don't really give a shit, bro.
He's just covering the JFK assassination, which is probably one of the most covered assassinations of all time. It's an incredible conspiracy. And he did this like 1 hour and 25 or 1 hour and 30 minute, like brilliant, super comprehensive, incredibly well edited video.
Oh, did you
and
watch
of
it,
course,
Hassan?
everybody reacted to it. It was trending. He's got millions of views on the video now.
Did you react to it?
And then people got like, someone got very mad that XQC had reacted to it as well, and it like only had like 10 additional minutes of runtime off of the original video. And they just like posted a screenshot and were
Is
like,
that why they got mad? Is that why they got mad, or is that just an example of why it was weak?
Maybe they were like, man, it's weird that this person just re-uploaded the entire video and probably didn't react nearly at all to it and got 500,000 views.
Yeah, I think there's more issues here that you could be looking at, bruh, than just, oh, look, the number is about the same as the other number. Like, clearly.
I don't think that dude, let me know, spent a whole year making that video, but it was definitely a long time. Like, he didn't upload for a whole year.
Oh, I believe it.
And then that's his first video.
Dude, that video is insane. Let's look at Let Me Know.
I haven't actually seen it.
You haven't seen it? It's good. I have watched it. The way that it actually goes through everything and then goes back through again with, like, it goes like official story, it does some side stories, it shows places where stories changed as they got interrogated multiple times, it shows places where, why don't we have the tapes for this interrogation? Yeah, so that was 10 days ago and his last video was a year ago.
Yeah.
And then it's a year ago, 2 years ago. So yeah, this guy does 3 videos a year. Let him get the 10 milli, right?
Nope. Wait, how much is he at right now? 5
He's at
mil?
5.4.
I think he was at 4.5 before. Jesus Christ, Hassan. Why are there like 8 different people uploading it?
Because
for
it's
you?
the Hassan Industrial Complex.
Jump off a bridge.
He's at least got 1 million views there. Yeah. And watching him,
And then XQC had like 500,000.
it gets even better. It gets even better as he tries to defend it.
You
So
know,
did he upload it to his YouTube channel?
I believe he did. Yes.
That's fucking crazy.
And you know, a lot of Twitch streamers do stuff like this.
You were gonna say did too.
Yeah, I mean, I reacted to it as well. A lot of the same people that were yelling at him were also trying to yell at me and be like, "He's the same. Hassan does this as well." And it didn't.
Oh, thank you, producer.
Well, there's a couple different reasons. I mean, look, I'm not going to be like, oh, he's not reacting hard enough or it's not transformative enough. I don't know. I haven't watched his reaction or anything like that.
Well, we can't. Did he take it down?
No, I don't know what happened. I don't even think Lamino personally has said anything about it or has like...
I mean, is he too Swedish?
Struck it or anything like that. But...
He hasn't taken it down? Hold on, let me look.
I haven't paid attention to the XQC side of things, but
the
very
Jake Paul and Diaz
people
fight
that have been like making this their live
maybe
mission
I just whenever I think of Jake Paul, I just think of like the Paul brothers when they first got on YouTube, and it's just like I don't know if I care about any of that.
Yeah,
it might be interesting, but I don't perceive myself enjoying it too much.
You know, criticize React content in general, especially Twitch streamers, and how they're like technically the same as like rapists doing sexual assault if they're doing reacts to YouTube videos.
True.
They were up in arms about
I
it.
hate this. I hate this line.
You hate this line?
He wasn't talking about all React streamers. He was talking about you, Hassan.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking about you specifically. He just was like
you and X
not trying to
leaving.
Not even X. It was just like, no, Hassan has quotes where he's literally like, who cares if they consented? I'll just ask after. If they don't want it, I'll talk about it. I just won't view it again.
Ugh, what an awful thing to say.
I'll never see their shit again but like I'll never ask beforehand. Like that's his literal whole argument.
He's talking about the mentality of a rapist.
Viper AU was like, or fucking whatever the fuck his name is, Dark Viper, was like, yeah, that's pretty rapist mindset, but he didn't want to name anyone specifically. And it was also just a written document. It wasn't like an actual video. So he probably would have had quotes, like shown the quotes from Hassan in the video, right?
Right.
But it just all got misinterpreted to him calling all React streamers rapists.
Of course. I mean, they
Thanks, Charlie.
Might as well be.
Some of them definitely.
They're raping the content, you could say.
Well, and everyone.
Not the people, no. That's just the people that live in those streamer houses that you always hear about.
Why not the people?
Because it's just the people in the streamer houses that you hear about. And if the people want it, it's not rape.
Problem is, like, there is well, not the things that I just mentioned, but there is certainly truth to some components, like, of the criticisms overall that have been swirling around about React content. I myself have absolutely been someone who is
a shitty reaction streamer.
Broken some of those boundaries, but I usually try to.
Which boundaries did you break?
Yes.
One of the things is, I think you'll agree with this as well.
Dig, Ethan. You're too dumb. Dig in.
Oh, it's just
keep
like,
going,
don't
Ethan. You're gonna find
leave the video running when you get up.
100%.
To go pee.
Yeah, you can't do that.
He's like a fat guy who's like talking to the butcher at the buffet, like, wait, tell me about where you get the pigs at? Like, just going in. Keep going.
Pretty basic stuff.
You stopped doing that?
I only do it with I usually only do it with my videos that I know are from my friends, like Noah Samson, Second Thought, things like that. And it's
you do not have my permission to walk away from my videos.
For the record, I'm not actually walking away for any extended period of time. Like, what are you supposed to do if there's an emergency and you have
just
to get
say
up?
wait, I'll be right back.
Yeah, you can, well, that.
I love it.
Holy shit. He doesn't know.
You're not allowed to walk away from my videos. Just say wait and come back. Just hit pause. I love it.
And also you can pause it, but the problem is
pause the video.
When you pause the video, it's just like
pause it.
Makes the content awful. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like
that's I'm just telling you. No, I know. You're right.
You say guys, put on a song or something. You know what I mean?
You're absolutely right. you're 100% right. You should just throw up
You're
a
100%
BRB
right,
screen.
but I'm not gonna listen
or
to
I
you.
should.
God, think about this guy. This guy goes on the internet, watches political things, and tells people what they should think. Meanwhile, kowtows because a guy who makes more money than him, is more popular, has more clout, is telling him that what he's doing is dumb. He can't say, no, it's fine because they're getting my content, or all those other arguments that he's made in the past. He's just...
Because he knows they're complete fucking
he's
horseshit.
just eating it.
Like when people were watching MasterChef and shit, he was like, "No, guys, we gotta stop." Before he started doing it himself, he was like, "Guys, we're pushing a little bit too far.
Yeah.
Like, we don't want them to crack down on us. They'll fuck everyone."
Oh, wait, they're not cracking down? Hell yeah, give me some of that money.
Yeah, literally.
Ethan's shocking you? Again, for all of his faults, Vape Nation won a lawsuit proving that he was the epitome, like he has it framed that he is the epitome of fair use. So like,
Yeah, they put King on his plaque.
God, I love it.
People don't mind waiting. I mean, I go to the bathroom all the time. It's like, hey guys, I'll be right back. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Over the course of an 8-hour stream, though, of course, that happens way more.
Voyages. Virgin Voyages. What is this, Epstein?
Virgin?
Get out of here.
More frequently than you would, you know, because 8 to 10
nature of
hours.
the beast, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not taking
It's about filling it. It's about filling that space a little bit better.
You could plan something ahead of time. You could film something. The play. When
Oh,
you're there.
really?
The best part about this is it sounds like Ethan is telling Hassan what he should do. But really, in his brain, Ethan is saying what he thinks X could do, because he keeps saying like XQC is such an asshole or such an idiot or the worst. And so when he's like, you could do this, or you could do that, in his brain, he's thinking XQC, but Hassan's like sweating. Like he's like, oh, fuck, he knows.
Dude, it's so good. It is so good because Hassan has heard all of these arguments from other people who hate him.
Yep. And now it's coming from somebody who has way more clout than him.
He's just like,
oh shit, I don't know what to do now.
It's entertaining, you know.
What I thought about doing, what I started doing a little bit is like I'll play a complimentary video that
are you making this up as you speak?
Instagram or TikTok.
He's trying to think of like what the top comments say that are like fighting him on these. He's like, oh shit, what do they always say? What do they tell me to do? I should I'll play a TikTok video. There we go. They'll like the TikTok videos
or something. That's what I started. That's what I started sneaking in. If I need to like get up for a second, so
you know
it's
what
not the
Brucey
original
does
video.
that I thought was a pretty good idea? He plays like highlights from his stream or something when he has to walk away.
That's a IRL stream. You can do that on your IRL streams. Like you have readily available clips that you can just like play the highlights whenever it goes into low bandwidth mode.
You can do it on desktop as well. I don't know if that's a newer thing, but
yeah.
Oh, are you producer man in the background like, hey, numbnuts, you can do that too. There's no way Ethan didn't do this on purpose. What makes me think he didn't do this on purpose is later on, he literally is just yelling at XQC. Oh, he's like, you're such an idiot. I hate him.
So I will say this. I mean,
so that's one aspect of it that I agree with, that I'm an offender of as well. Back in the day, especially, I used to have a setup where I would cook simultaneously. I didn't have a camera in the kitchen, but I would cook. But I also had a monitor in the kitchen, so I would watch the video, and I would run back to the desktop to pause it if I wanted to say something about it. But it was bad optically.
I see.
Yeah, it was bad optically.
Extremely rich
People got very
person.
upset.
Yeah.
So I
living room.
recognized that was wrong. I stopped doing that.
That's
But
good.
now, you know, you'll still catch me getting up because I have to pee or I have to take Kaya out
I
for
have
a
to
second
pee.
or whatever. But I don't cook.
You just have to take
I
my
get
dog
food
out.
delivered.
Here's what I'll say. I mean, I've been watching your YouTube channel for a while, and the videos that you or your editor, whoever, uploads to YouTube are very highly edited.
Oh yeah.
And totally, I think, totally fair.
On the Hasanabi channel, when it is relating to politics, his videos are very transformative on YouTube. But you pull up, and I watched XQC do this. He pulled up Hasanabi watching JCF, the criminal psychology guy, on the Hasanabi like main channel, and it's just Hassan like eating a grilled cheese for like 5 minutes, not even doing anything regarding the video commentary.
Oh, that's so nice.
%1,000,000%.
Yeah.
That's the other aspect of this that I was going to say. We're talking about like live reacting on Twitch versus packaging content for YouTube. The way I see it is everybody does react content. Like
Everybody
you do
does
react
it.
content as well in certain respects where like we are all
Maybe
all
can't do that,
derivative.
but everybody
We're
else
all
do that.
looking at other people and like maybe doing commentary. Every aspect of the commentary sphere is react content. The way I shoot my live
Oh, there's a comment in his chat replay here that says Hassan used to use a fake video of himself when AFK. What?
I believe it. I believe it.
Like, people were laughing at the chair so much that he's like, fine, I'll just like pose in a position, hit go, and it'll just record me for a minute, and I'll have that on loops while I leave. Oh man, you guess the word transformative content is too hard for some people to understand. It's tough for people. They can't read the 4 pillars.
streams is I have YouTube in mind. So every single video that I react to that is a YouTube video.
Focus in, everybody. We're getting the artist behind the scenes here. He's got YouTube in mind, all right?
I know I could turn into a YouTube video personally, but given the aspect and the limitations of live streaming, it's not going to be as punchy. So there's going to be dead air sometimes, or sometimes I'm going to get up and have to take care of an emergency. You know what I mean? But
what is this video stream about tonight? Finishing up the Sam Cedar one, which we just did, and then now we're reacting to Ethan Klein attacking Hasanabi through attacking XQC about the React meta. Vape Nation strikes back.
if it's appearing on YouTube, if it's on any of my owned and operated channels, I have 4. Everything else that you
4,
see
by
is
the
not
way.
mine.
The
It's
one,
fan-owned.
right.
It's never going to be outside of the bounds of fair use.
I mean, here's the difference between your channel
Never,
and
ever,
XQC's,
never,
which
ever,
I'm looking
never.
at now. This man uploaded 5 videos in one day.
See what I mean? He's just so in on XQZ. He doesn't even notice he's throwing his buddy under a bus.
No fucking way that anybody's putting any effort into this. Like here, I watched this video, Andrew Tate's.
You could have multiple editors. I mean, I have multiple editors.
Let me see. This video, Andrew Tate's controversy, have finally caught up with him. I watched this video, so let me see.
From a police raid on their mansion resulting in... Huh?
And of course,
Huh?
XQC wouldn't care about uploading this because he doesn't
Chat,
have any
chat.
moral
Well, okay, but
cares at
you're
all.
watching like Andrew Tate's controversy that finally caught up to him. That's not necessarily like this isn't even. I think the most.
Hold on,
offensive,
go ahead. What are you saying? It's not what?
This isn't even that bad. Like you're.
How do you know? I just started it.
Because no matter what it is, it's probably like a. Is it just a bunch of news reactions?
No,
or
it's a
something?
video.
Oh, it's just one singular video.
Yeah,
that
it's
he's
one
reacting
video.
to?
I know because I watched it. This is the end for Andrew Tate. I watched it from Internet Anarchist. Yeah.
That's not...
He's defending it and he doesn't even know what's going on in the video yet. He's just like, no, wait. He's probably okay here. Don't throw me under the bus yet. Now there is an exception to fair use when it comes to news-related content, because there is this idea in America that information and breaking stories, it's more important that they get out rather than worrying about, oh, who owns the copyright to this event. We'd rather spread the news than worry about that. So if you are doing React content on news, you will tend to be more okay to just let the news play. However, when you watch a lot of React streamers and they look at like news stuff, they usually have something to say because that's like the whole Twitch politics, right? Is that's their wheelhouse. That's where they want to say stuff. And where they don't say stuff is when it's somebody's really well curated, edited videos. And it's like, come on. Come on. At least have that argument, Hassan.
Oh, shit.
Oh, that's the guy. That internet anarchist, ironically, is the guy that fucking Aiden Ross copy strike because false copy strike because he thought he was my mod.
Okay,
That's the guy. I was like, what the?
So, like, I mean, just right off the bat, what the fuck is this editing? There's 10 seconds of him sitting there like a moron. Look at this idiot.
Yeah, I mean,
he sounds like Michael.
No. This is
editing
like
is not
that.
high effort.
I mean, hold on. Let me get a taste of this.
You've never seen Hassan?
No. Ethan Klein. I've never actually watched a video of his.
Oh, really? Oh, I need to show you some Vape Nash so you can see some like good Ethan and not just this Ethan.
Yeah, I would hope it's all, not just this.
Yeah, no, his old stuff is so good. But yeah, he's like, I hate X, and it's so good.
Why wouldn't they cut that?
Christian Tate being held in a Romanian jail cell for over 3
Look at him.
months.
He doesn't even know what the fuck he's watching.
I think the main problem here
What a
is
moron, dude.
The main problem here should be that if this is on your main channel, you should definitely edit it more for sure.
Hold on, Hassan. I really want to see.
Hold on, Hassan. Shut up. Let me make fun of this idiot.
Like, this is like my fan. This is like fan-owned and operated channels that just like straight post VODs, like straight rip VODs.
And Hassan is giving us the reason why you should just shut up sometimes. Because if you just shut up and let Ethan dig into X a little bit, and you don't bring up fan-related channels and all this kind of stuff, you won't run into what you have to talk about in a minute here.
Do you know what I mean?
Past 6 months, but with the recent developments in their case, it seems like this is just the beginning. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries.
I mean, this is already theft. He didn't even intro it. He didn't talk about it. He's literally just sitting there quietly for the first 30 seconds. You should sue him. Fuck you, XQC, you thief bitch. I'm not surprised he's stealing people's videos. He steals people's money too.
Go in! Go in, Ethan!
By the way, look, you're talking to someone who I do not care about IP in the same way that you do. We have differing opinions on it.
You think that you should be able to take people's videos and re-upload them?
Well, not necessarily. I think
not necessarily.
I think you should still
what necessarily
abide
then
by certain standards, but overall, I don't really care. I don't really care if someone rips my IP.
No, but you're talking about IP law, or are you talking about what your preference is?
My personal preferences and what I think. My personal preferences and what I believe and how I believe IP should be run is significantly more
How should
hands
IPs
off.
be run? How should IPs be run?
I think that there should be a similar structure to how patents are supposed to exist for all content creation. That after a certain amount of time has passed for like television productions or for even movies in general, that IP should be completely lifted, and you can make derivative works off of that with ease.
That's a very different like argument though. The idea that Disney should not still own Mickey Mouse is a completely different argument than when person posts content, I will take content and play on my stream while I go, huh. That is a night and day.
Disney still own like the old cartoons they made? Why wouldn't they still own those? You know,
like they still own it and they can still sell it, but like the idea that they like you can't make a Steamboat Willie cartoon, that is a little ridiculous. You can't.
Agreed. Yeah.
Hassan doesn't even put thoughts into what he says. Why would he care if someone steals his content? Yeah. He stole the content, so you're really just stealing from the next guy.
Dude, that's like his content is sitting there and talking. His content isn't 20 hours of editing a 10-minute video.
Yeah,
you can't like stealing his content is stealing nothing because he contributes nothing.
It's true.
50-year scope. That doesn't really
not even a
affect
50-year scope. I think it should be shorter than that.
Okay.
That's number one. Number two, I think that as far as like rigorous control over IP, I personally don't have it. I don't believe in it. I don't think it's a good
What
thing.
do you mean you don't believe in it? I don't understand what that means. You think that people should be able to steal your videos and upload it?
Yeah, which is why I have.
Why? Yeah. How is that fair to anybody? Do you really believe that?
Yeah, well, Ethan, if you
Because he makes so much money before the video hits YouTube, he doesn't care. Oh, it's ridiculous.
You literally search Hassan Abi, there are 1,000 channels pretty much that literally take everything I do on my stream and re-upload it and make money.
No, I know that you don't care.
Yeah.
But you're talking about like the law.
In a perfect world,
I don't care that much.
Just it's like a fax machine trying to calculate what to do next.
What will make him not hate me?
Yeah.
By the end.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the law. What do you think? He's like, I think the law should be what I think. So
Either about what people do with my content.
Yeah,
But
in a perfect world, I think that content of this sort would be heavily subsidized by government subsidies in the arts, in the field of art.
You would be subsidized?
Everyone, every type of content creation would be heavily subsidized, so that art would not be created for the sake of
speaking to like a real world.
monetization. Yeah, which is why I'm saying my own idealistic.
I want that. I don't think you're speaking to a real world right now. That is the motto for Hassan's whole channel.
Understanding of the world versus what is happening in the real world are two separate issues, or two separate scenarios.
So you believe that people should just be able to
IPs
steal
freely
your content.
I don't consider.
it.
Well, first of all, I don't even consider it
monetary gain.
theft, because people do that already, and I have given allowances for people to do that.
No,
However,
I'm not saying people are stealing.
You're not
your
everyone
content.
else.
Yeah.
I'm talking about IP laws in general.
I think that the protection should only exist for people like YouTube channels and whatnot, people that are smaller independent operations, and that the restrictions should be heavily limited for larger corporations.
So how do you decide who's a smaller and who's a larger?
That's actually a really good question.
Bump, remember?
Yeah.
Don't they get the fat bump, Hassan? They get the fat bump you give them. They give them you give them the Hassan bump. That's how they find out about it. Remember? That's how they find out that you watch their video, because they get the fat bump. You fucking piece of shit.
I'm trying to remember exactly what was said this morning, but I think Destiny had a clip where he was talking about how one of Hassan's editors actually went through a video and that Hassan had watched and found the creator and looked at their analytics, and there was no bump. Like, the bump doesn't exist.
We know the bump doesn't exist.
Shocking,
We've
right?
Always known it doesn't exist. The only reason why Lofty thinks the bump exists, and this is his whole reason for liking React streamers, he thinks the bump exists because some dude reacted to a meme of his and actually linked to him, or like an extremely popular person reacted to a meme of his, and that meme blew up because of it.
Oh.
But the difference between that and what Hassan does,
and also
and really,
the difference between that, when you have a YouTube channel with, he's up to what, 7,000 subscribers now? What was he at the time?
Probably a lot less. I think he gained 500 from it.
It's like, it's nice that you gained 500, and that was literally doubling your channel at the time. However, that's not a lot when you already have, say, 100,000 on a YouTube channel that's sort of mid-sized, right? That bump that you're talking about suddenly doesn't mean much.
Well, even then, the fat bump is normally like 100 to 200 views. Like, that's normally the extent of the bump.
Yeah.
And that's because, like, people watch, like, they saw it on Hassan's stream. Now they're going to go to the video for like 5 seconds, leave a like, and immediately just kill the analytics because you're killing watch time on the video. People are clicking, giving it a like, leaving. That means YouTube doesn't want to promote it anymore. You're just fucking the video hand over fist.
Yep.
But even beyond that, The reason why memes are like different than all other forms of content is because they're rewatchable like fucking songs are.
And they're also like designed to be shareable. That's like the point of a meme.
Exactly. Like a dude can watch a meme, get 1 million hits on it, and like the meme can also get 1 million hits on it because it's a fucking meme. You're just spreading a meme. Memes are rewatchable, songs are rewatchable. Lofty didn't understand this. I literally explained this to him and he was like, well, I was in his chat, so maybe that's the main reason why he doesn't understand it. But he was like, I don't know if I believe that. I don't know if I believe that. I'm just like, yeah,
no,
well,
sometimes chat's hard to understand, but also sometimes Lofty is dense.
Lofty Senior, I think it just makes sense.
You think the reason Lofty got the bump is also because he and Tyrone, oh, freaking fruit fly, get out of here.
It was a Tyrone. I think that was the dude's name, Tyrone.
Tyrone are on the same platform.
True. They were also on the same platform. Hassan's on Twitch, and that doesn't exactly translate to YouTube.
It also, because everyone's, or not everyone, at least like Destiny and Mauler's debate, it was, well, just copy claim it. So if they post a video on YouTube that, like, they rip my stream, they put it on YouTube, I can claim the video, and any money they get, I get. That's the point of the copy claim. You can't copy claim somebody's Twitch channel from your YouTube channel. So the way that they just earned a bunch of money and stole a bunch of viewers from you, you can't get that cash. It doesn't exist. So the cross-platform copy claim just doesn't exist.
Destiny said that you could definitely do that. He said that it was super easy to do that. He has seen no evidence that's not easy to do that. Therefore, it's very easy to do that.
No, it's easy. So he did say it's harder cross-platform because you have to have an account on each platform. But that was one thing that he said, and then I think it was Mauler and Ordinary Gamer were both like, no, that's really hard to do cross-platform. We've tried, and I think he conceded on that point.
I would hope he did.
Yeah.
I don't want to dislike Destiny. I just end up disliking him because he's an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty easy to do sometimes, but you know, given the choice, I'd get a beer with Destiny before I got one with Hassan, so.
But there's also a difference in that I'd be paying for my beer if I went with Hassan.
You'd also be paying for his beer.
True. The fucking millionaire's like, nah, bro, you gotta pay for your own.
No, bro.
I know I invited you out here, but like this bar, you know.
Meanwhile,
I know I invited you to this super expensive bar, but like it kind of costs a lot in these streets, man. I don't know.
It's hard in these sheets. Meanwhile, Nebraska boy is like, yeah, I'll get you drinks.
I don't have an answer for that. I've thought about it a lot, but I do not have an answer for it. I don't know. I think like maybe revenue structure wise, like after a certain.
So what you just hit?
Yeah, you just hit
a
like
money
a
number, and then you have
cap,
no more
and then
protection.
it limits down.
What if
like a progressive taxation structure where it like basically limits the amount that you can maintain your own intellectual property patents.
What if that's how you make a living? So they take your IP away, and then all of a sudden your business goes bankrupt because everyone can steal your content.
What do you mean? Why would your business go bankrupt?
Has no concept, because the problem, Hassan doesn't think businesses should make money. So
he doesn't get it.
He doesn't get it. What do you mean? Why would they go bankrupt? You're saying if they don't have a product to sell, they're not going to make money? But they're businesses.
They're business.
Uncle Cenk always had money.
Your business potentially,
You make money.
You're making money by creating proprietary or unique
Proprietary.
Okay.
So once you were like, hey, my business is doing great, I'm making $10 million a year, and then you lose your IP.
I have an issue.
Oh, you do?
How does that make sense?
I have a real world issue.
Real world issue.
I need help with.
Hit me.
I'm trying to make French toast right now.
Yeah.
Again. I don't have a whisk. How do I get rid of like the egg in the bowl that's gonna turn into egg whites in the pan?
How do you get rid of the egg in the bowl?
Yeah, because I'm making the stuff you dip the toast in to make it French toast, but that involves egg and milk, and like if you don't
use a fork,
completely break it down, to use what?
Use a fork.
It didn't work last time. Like
what?
It is small enough to where it's just going to be like specks all across it.
Whisking with a
I'm
fork.
hungry.
Here's how you
to
whisk with a
whisk
fork. You ready?
We need to hold the bowl steady with our hands. And what we're going to do with this, just using the end of the prongs, we are going to just whisk lightly
And you just do little
round
circles.
in sort of an oval shape
Yeah.
to whisk the egg.
And you do that until the
This
egg's
will work
fully
with any
yellow.
liquid that you need to whisk with a fork.
Do I need a smaller bowl?
I don't know how big's your bowl.
Too big.
If
I'll use
if your
smaller.
bowl's too big, tip it so that you can be whisking it at like a side of it. But yeah, try a smaller bowl maybe.
I have a smaller bowl next to me. I'll use that.
Okay.
Oh shit! I dropped my fork.
God, no, that's the only fork. Now he's got to use a chopstick, a single chopstick, which you can do it with chopsticks. I've done that too.
Yeah, I've seen videos of people doing that.
I did it. I made it to this town. You put it in a cup.
Oh, you did it!
Yeah, you can also put it in a cup, put your hand over it, and just shake. Me? That's right. You're with them, right? Who is this?
Okay, let's try again.
Not my singular
Because
fork.
it's still unique content creation, which means
people
that
just start re-uploading it, and then your bottom line is going to get crushed.
yeah, you'll certainly, well, on your old library content, you would still have like some.
You see that this is so much more complicated
Yeah,
than it is. for no
100%.
reason?
Yeah, I
For
do.
no
make things
reason.
more complicated. I don't understand that.
Well, I mean, I think this is still the way that it currently exists is still pretty complicated.
It's not that complicated. It's like, I mean, the only
I mean, it
complication
definitely is complicated.
Fucking Ethan Klein is telling you it's not that complicated. Oh my goodness, it's gold. It's freaking gold. You wish you hadn't gotten nuked? Yeah, me too. I wish you hadn't gotten nuked either.
People abuse DMCA. You know this already. Like people, there are, like
That's not complicated.
even in the way that I
very
have
simple.
simplified my structure where I'm like, do whatever you want, make money if you want off of the content. Even then, there are bad actors. For example, there is a network of like botted channels from Vietnam that until like, I
blame
don't
the
know, 3 months-
Vietnamese, you ass. Water tech. The pool invention people. If you need a pool, go to
ago were, like,
watertech.com.
uploading videos about fishing that then turn around and start uploading videos of my streams.
That's just okay. But that's not my
But
point.
then
Is
they
that
Why you
DMCA
gotta be
other
so
fan channels or
complicated?
even my channels sometimes. They try to DMCA me with my content, and they're abusing the DMCA structure.
it's not complicated. It's just that you just need to sue someone to find actual results.
not complicated, just
the
sue
law
their
is pretty
ass.
Straightforward, I feel like.
You have to have, well, bad actors are always going to exist, which is why you need to have some regulations, some laws around it, which is what I'm saying. I agree with you on that. There's
agree.
always going to be people that violate it.
I got
The
Ultimately,
last
if you want to
thing
understand why I
Hassan
have this
wants
opinion,
is regulation around this. The fuck is he talking about?
But he preaches regulation, so he has to talk like he does want regulation, even though he doesn't.
He's just like, Republicans, make sure this doesn't go through. Please. Fuck. Did
I grew up
Ellie
in Turkey.
just rescue her?
We did not have access to
Yeah, Ellie would just
movies when I was
pulled her
growing
off.
up that in a
That's
timely
wild.
manner. We did not have access to video games. when I
That's
was
what level 4 will do for an Ellie Wood. It gives him the biceps. They're able to carry a horse off of a Pegasus.
growing up in a timely manner. And the only way I was able to enjoy
Actually, I
all
think
of
he's
these
still
video
level
games
3 in
when
this
I was growing
version.
up in Turkey was cracked
Even
video
better.
games.
He just went from I should be able to steal people's content to put on my stream to in Turkey I had to play pirated video games because we didn't have access any other way. The night and day, the Mott and Bailey, right? The idea that you create an argument that's really hard to defend and then you use an argument that's much easier to defend to sort of work with and change everybody's vision from the actual thing that you can't defend. It's called a Mott and Bailey argument. And so now he's going into this idea. There are entire dev teams that are like, if you're in a place where you can't get our stuff, I want you to pirate it because I'd rather you enjoy my game. And you can't pay me for it anyway, so I'd rather you just pirate it. This is not a thing that people are debating. We're not like over here like, oh, well, should Somalia be able to pirate video games? Who cares? We're talking about you and your lazy ass that's built itself a mansion somehow.
I want the North Koreans to play fucking Disco Elysium. I want them to play it, okay?
They gotta play Atomic Hearts, man. They gotta know.
They gotta figure it out.
Why would you pirate a game? I don't know what Turkey was like when he was growing up, but we pirated in my shithole third world country, so it's okay to steal readily available YouTube content and be lazy about it. Man, it's almost like it's not complicated.
There's a massive black market that was readily available where you could go and purchase a game
Why you gotta
in a
make
brick
this
and
colored?
mortar retail store that exclusively sold like pirated material, basically pirated movies and pirated video games. And the only way I had access to anything, like the only way I had access to anything that was going on in the rest of the world was through purchasing through a black market substitute, cracked video games and pirated movies. So
sounds like they figured it out for themselves over there in Turkey.
Yeah, because it was not there was no way that you could
That's a
access it.
solution,
And
I would say.
I still don't
Actually,
see the solution of making everything IP-less.
So my point was, but that's a violation of IP. That's like heavily
Of course it is.
illegal.
And good for, and I mean, I'm not saying that they shouldn't do that. I mean, whatever, you know what I mean? Do
So
what you
you're-
got to do.
So you're
But you do
fine.
need laws to protect your.
So no
fucking
one gives a fuck about
property.
the freaking
Okay,
law.
so we're not that far off from one another on this issue.
I'm not
then
saying that if you break IP in Turkey, you should fucking have your hands cut off or something. I don't care.
no,
about
I mean,
that.
first of all, there's no hand cutting in Turkey.
I
but-
know. I'm just
But
well, it
saying.
sounds
my
pretty
point
backwoods.
was
You can't even
that,
get video games without pirating them.
Okay, so you and I are in agreement on this then, because it's more of a wink and a nod where it's like, hey, listen, you know, sometimes you're gonna steal some movies.
If XQC re-uploads one of my videos and just sits there watching, I should have the right to sue him.
Yeah.
Why do you think that?
Yeah, if you
wait, what did I just
regardless
say?
of my own personal belief, I think that there needs to still be some limitations to what you can and can't do, because there's going to be bad faith abusers of.
It's
that
not
structure.
bad
Is
faith.
XQC a bad faith abuser?
Okay, we figured it out.
I think XQC.
He wants regulation on what people can sue him for.
You're right.
God, I hate this guy. What a piece of shit.
Is working within the bounds of a lack of regulation around this sort of thing.
But it's not going to be regulated. That's the. I mean, it is, but you need to be sued. There's no
Like
mechanism.
his perspective on it. His perspective on it is like, as long as nobody comes after me, why the fuck would I stop? Which I kind of understand, because that's how I approach like IP from like MasterChef, for example. You know what I mean? Like
Ooh.
big television productions.
Bringing it back to one of the worst things Twitch ever allowed.
And they would be right to sue you. I think they would be in the right.
I think so. I
think so.
Yeah.
Yes, they
but-
would.
and I think it's, but ultimately, I think that's like kind of that kind of structure is kind of ridiculous. For example, here's why. Like,
Why?
as Twitch streamers, when
Tell
we're
us
watching
why.
stuff or when we're reacting to things, like we quite literally get paid by either Hollywood studios to react to certain things, or
What?
react to trailers, or even sometimes react to entire
Oh, you didn't know this?
videos, right? Like entire episodes. The problem is that given international IP restrictions, when you do that, there's a tremendous amount of limitation on what you can watch. You have to geo-lock your content, for example.
Yeah, okay, so the streamers are paid to watch content sometimes by the companies that
Streamers
produce it. Yeah,
are
it's a marketing
paid as a marketing thing, and when
Yeah.
they have to do that, they have to, like, he's saying geolock, so they
Yeah,
have to lock it down so only certain regions will get that ad because they
Yeah,
don't have the
because it's
license
like-
to be able to do it in other areas.
Exactly.
What does that have to do with you taking other people's content that didn't ask or know that you were going to take their content. I don't understand.
Yeah, how do we wrap this back around to you freebooting and just uploading other people's shit onto YouTube?
It's crazy.
Example, if you are watching anime, like you might do like a Crunchyroll spot where Crunchyroll will be
Hey,
like, we're gonna
that's
give
my
you money
spot.
to
Get
watch
outta
the
here.
entire episode of anime. When you do that, you have to geolock where your content can be watched.
Gotta geolock
You
it.
have to
Geolock
abide by
down.
certain sets of restrictions. And I feel like with respect to larger budget productions like that, the reason why I'm mentioning the ad component here is because, like, obviously multi-million-dollar corporations,
You heard anime.
corporations see value in, you know, someone like a Twitch.
Apparently, some anime would pay Hasanabi to watch it. Crunchyroll would pay Hassan to watch anime in order to get people interested in anime. I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a second. People already pay him all their subscription money.
Streamer reacting to their content, right? Because there is value to it. It is you're marketing this material to a broader audience. They don't see it as a market substitute. They see it as a good thing.
Because it's not a
But
market
also
substitute,
on
it's
top of that, even
marketing.
when you're doing
Assuming
this,
they see it as a good thing.
There is a reason why they only showed the first episode of a show when they do that. And it is because there is still value to be had if you only watch the first episode.
Oh, this
How
guy's
is
got a
this
hit
hard?
of 14. Yeah, no, it's so insane that they don't understand that.
why would they give money if it wasn't a good thing?
Oh,
why
well,
would
no,
they pay?
sometimes they'll do it to promote a show, but in the case of like Master Chef, I don't believe nobody's
Yeah.
ever reached out to me and been like, "You're good to go." Giving you,
Yeah,
like,
no,
legal
no.
clearance.
Well,
but like if Crunchyroll's like, "Yeah, we want to pay you to watch this new show."
yeah, I'm just
I mean,
using that as an
makes
example. I'm using like one of the examples to show you that, like, yes, I think there is a conversation that can be had about the value of like watching something live.
There, of course, there's value.
Yeah.
But a company decides like, "Hey, I want
Yeah.
you to do this."
The entire gaming industry
Especially
relies on
something you wouldn't normally be watching. Like you wouldn't
Yeah.
normally sit down and watch a fucking episode of you know, tits out, guns out anime or whatever it is.
Ah.
Yeah, well,
Are you
not
sure
just
about
anime.
that? Are you
The
sure about
entire,
that?
like I
Girl
said, the
with
entire
giant-
Ethan
Are
watches
you sure you
tits
want to
out.
sit down and watch that?
Ethan watches tits out, guns out. We just proved it. Right here.
What
You heard it from
show
the
is
man
that?
himself.
Gun Boob? Is it Gun Boob? Is that a show?
Gun boob, tits out, guns out.
video
Titties,
game, the
episode,
entire
whatever.
gaming industry relies on Let's Play as a
Let's
way
play.
to market their product, which is why
I'm not saying. Then there are symbiotic relationships.
Yeah.
Like that. I'm not saying that.
which is why, for example, video games could be subject to the same kind of DMCA restrictions that that any kind of content that you consume online could be subject to. I would take it even one step further. Things that
Take
you
it
show,
a step further.
like this. The fact that there's a brand on here that we are not sponsored by, but we have this brand right here. This could technically,
What brand is that? Discotech?
depending on I think how far down the rabbit hole you want to go, like a lot of this stuff is licensed, right? Licensed imagery. We actually technically don't have the license to show this.
I don't know the legality of that. I don't.
Not true. Like, that's not important. The only time that becomes an issue is when you start saying stuff that damages their brand. Companies love when you show their stuff off, as long as you're not damaging their brand with whatever you're doing. It's totally normal. Totally fine. Oh my goodness. What? How dumb.
When do you need to hop off? Because it's like a semi-short stream.
Yeah, probably 10.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with
That
that
is
at all.
interesting. Well, I can just interject from my experience working on like movies and TV that
Thanks, Dan.
everything that appears
Yeah.
in a TV show has to be cleared.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
That's why they don't show you brands in like a certain
Well, they're
productions.
just right.
Not
They're-
necessarily because
Well,
they
maybe
want to have
cover on
ads.
the,
I mean,
the
so what?
mountain.
Anyway, I want to watch
also
XQC.
works.
Fucking, I really want to get a sense for when he starts talking.
And today, we'll be taking a look
We're already watched how long we watching this fucking thing? See, this moron is such an idiot. He's got the he didn't even edit it. I'm looking at his. I can't tell which is his time bar and which is the one of the video because it's so fucking unedited. Like it's so he cares so little.
This is a straight VOD rip.
It's been going for 30 seconds.
The recent news and developments in the Tate brothers saga. Following their move from jail to house arrest on the 31st of March 2023.
Fucking moron. Shut up.
No, man.
Shut up.
No, man.
He's not even talking about the video. He's responding to a comment in chat.
Yeah.
Hold on.
News and developments in the Tate brothers saga. Following their move from jail to house arrest on the 31st of March 2023.
You guys, I want to know. I want to know. Guys, I want to know, man.
Bro.
Chad is saying, don't watch this video. Why are you watching this video? And he's saying, I want to know, man. I'm an XQC analyzer translator. So let me explain something here.
So
that is going to happen on a live stream. That's always going to happen on a live stream.
Okay, listen. Right now,
your
Hassan,
criticism is about uploading this straight VOD rip to your YouTube channel, right?
There's two prongs. There's two prongs here. One.
Two prongs.
Is uploading it to YouTube, which is insane. And he should be sued for this, and I hope people do. I mean,
I don't
shame
think
on
the
you.
content creators themselves always care about it, which is why.
Not always, but when they do, they should have. It's their right. I mean, I don't think it's respectful to upload a video like that, period. At least put a fucking little effort in to make it watchable. Like, what is this shit, dude? Moron.
That just means...
He's just like ripping into
clearly some content creators do because they're making a stink about it.
Yeah, which is the point is this, okay? There's two different classifications to have conversations on. One
pick
is
up a
what
freaking
you're
horse,
reacting
but
to
I
on your
can't
Twitch
pick up
stream.
Hector.
And there's standards of practices on that as well, or like what's the most ethical way to react. You can have a conversation about live stream reacting. And then the other side of the story is what you upload to your owned and operated channels, to channels that you own, that you have creative control over.
I'm going to speed this up a little bit because he's not saying much for every word.
I maintain the position that like things that I upload to my channel, to my YouTube channel, have to abide by certain standards, because if it was just straight VOD rip, it would be very boring, and it would be in some respects, maybe not technically a market substitute, but like not a good representation of like what kind of content I put out on my own.
Well, okay, so there's two prongs. The YouTube one we've covered. The Twitch one has not really been tested, to be honest with you. And there's a lot, I feel like there's a lot of, listen, the walking away and leaving things playing, it shouldn't be done by anyone on Twitch ever.
Look at that. Shouldn't be done by anyone on Twitch ever. First Light. Save up to 40% on firstlight.com.
Yeah, I do it all the time. Like, there's no...
I just think you're creating a huge legal liability by doing that. Because one day somebody's going to come start suing people. And if that's up, and if you've done that, you have a huge liability.
Yeah.
There's no way you can justify that in court.
No!
Or to a judge.
Yeah, playing it, I guess, like, technically the only thing that you could do is, like, from a legal standpoint, I'm not even saying this is, like, apt or adequate as a counter, but maybe, like, chat. No. I don't know. Like, having different...
All that proves is that there's people there fucking consuming the video that you're not performing.
Yeah, you're right. Overall,
but if you don't care about IP, that's one
overall,
thing,
the reason why like a lot of YouTubers don't complain about that in general, but they might, and you're absolutely right about that. Overall, the reason why a lot of people don't complain about that is because they don't see it as a one-to-one. They see it more as like promotional. Most YouTubers, most
but it's
content
not up
creators
to
see that
them
as
to decide that.
What do you mean?
It's not up to the streamer to decide if it's promotional or not.
No, you're right about that, which is why it's more of like as long as nobody complains.
If only there
about
were a
it,
creator
you're
fund that
doing
could help with these lawsuits. Yeah, the FUPA fund.
They don't seem to care. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But
remember when I was doing that, it was older seasons. It was never like a new season. I would literally have the contestants on. I literally had the No, I know. I'm just saying that like it was still
that doesn't matter.
I
love it.
Like, even if I were to put out a final product from that, which I never did.
That's good that you did.
My goal was always to make it as entertaining as possible, and also on top of that, have like literally the chefs and whatnot that were involved in the content creation process in the secondary marketplace.
There might.
Why would you do that, Hassan? Why would you spend all of that money reaching out to all of those people? Is it because you gave Trainwrecks shit for watching the kitchen show, and then people started giving you shit when you watched the show, and you were like, oh shoot, I better do something about this, and so you decided to try to make it a bigger thing than it was, but you wouldn't have done that otherwise? Is that what's going on here? It'd be crazy if that's what was going on here.
Might even be like more relaxed analysis for live chat or for live streams because it's not archived somewhere. But it's just not been tested, But I would definitely encourage you not to do the walk away play thing.
encourage you
And,
personally,
if you are
Hassan,
watching
not to
something
do it.
to provide, to be, conscious of how much analysis is going into it, which I think you are, but some people aren't, obviously.
Even if you look at like fan channel upload reacts, the one thing that
The
haters
fact
are always
that
confused
Hassan
about is like
always
there's this meme
says,
about me,
which I think you are.
the chair meme, right? It's a part of Twitch culture because like when you're live for 8 to 10 hours, two things that are always going to happen is like one, you're going to be eating on camera, so that's like a big meme. The other one about live streaming in general is that of course you're going to get up at a certain point, right? That is where that chair.
Just say you got to
meme
take a
comes
big
from,
dumpy.
which then turned into like, oh, Hassan just like will click play and then leave his chair on and walk away.
You do that though. You just said you do.
No, but there's a difference. I don't let the video just fucking run throughout the entire process.
Oh, you don't just let the video run? What do you call it?
I get up to either take a piss sometimes if I really have to pee without pausing the video, which I should. I should do like a BRB screen or something.
You
I'm
should?
working on I'm trying to figure out a better way to do that by possibly playing something that like either the person will never have issue with, or rather playing like a TikTok or something, just like jiggle some keys
a
in the eyes of
TikTok
the audience so that it's like
you mean
the content is
stealing
not
some other platform's content that has worse content ID than YouTube and Twitch?
So right, and that's fine. Like I said, but at any rate, XQC is the biggest fucking douche offender piece of shit ever. I literally hate him.
Okay,
he's so vile.
Like,
why does he
just the
hate him
worst, man.
so
He doesn't care about anything.
I think there's definitely
I don't even hate him that much. I
than
just think he's
XQC.
hilarious.
I didn't say he's the worst person online.
He's just like he is just doing whatever the lack of limitations and boundaries are. It's just like pushing
that's why he's getting paid $30 million to play fucking
100 million
stake or whatever. $100 million to play stake. I mean, that's like
well, he's not. I don't know if he's playing stake.
He is, right? I mean,
I don't think he's gambled, or maybe I don't know. I don't watch Kick.
Why do people watch this? Like genuinely. Let me watch this now.
So
why men can't get matches
That's
on
another
dating?
question. Ethan, people say that about you, and they say that about me all the
No,
time.
but he's not saying anything.
But it doesn't matter. Some people like it. He is.
It doesn't matter. Some people like it. Oh man, you should use that one in court.
very representative of like the average gamer.
A group picture to make it seem like he has friends. A picture in Paris to make it seem like he's cultured.
I just want
wait. Pause for a second. You know what's funny? All of these videos are kind of fire to react to. Like I'm watching this and I'm like, damn, I should react to this video.
Just say some shit and you're good. Don't just sit there like a
Why
moron.
men can't get matches on dating apps? Like I feel like that would be like an 8-hour video for me. I would watch this fucking 10-minute video and lose my mind probably.
Picture climbing mountains to make
Just get a body double. Yeah, just have an AI
deep
deepfake of himself.
The woman doesn't feel safe sharing a lot of
40
personal
seconds.
information, so she chooses
Not a
the person
single
she
comment or
look all-
introductory statement or anything.
can find.
No words from him, frankly.
And she's ready to go. They start swiping and hope for the best.
45 seconds.
At the end of the day, when
50
the woman checks
seconds.
her phone, her like counter is full. Practically every profile she likes is an instant match. Soon she's overwhelmed
1
by the
minute.
amount of matches and messages in her inbox. For the man, it's a different
Is he
story.
even watching the video? Is he just like looking at a fucking like one of these cat things?
I mean, I
do
think
this?
he's watching the video. He's probably looking at chat. There's
A
a
little
lot of stimuli
metronome.
when you're live streaming, so it's like hard to exactly figure out what's going on.
You don't need to defend him, son.
I'm not defending
He's
him.
a
I'm
monster.
defending myself, Ethan. That's what it is. Because like I've gotten
Oh,
the exact
you
same
are?
types of criticism, and you can absolutely make the exact same types of criticism about me if I'm being perfectly honest. The reality is that
But you don't upload it to YouTube.
yes, that's the
I mean,
the
that's a
major,
big difference.
That's the major difference.
Is that
If
a big
you ever see a video
difference?
like that on YouTube, it is most likely from a fan channel that took a straight VOD rip and posted it on YouTube and is monetizing it themselves. It's not.
Here we go. You ready? You ready for this mind blower right here? No!
Not touching me in any capacity. And
Can I be honest with you?
What?
There will be a time, in my opinion, where still be some legal hammer that will come down on streamers. And there will be a time when you guys will look back and be like, damn, I missed it. That was crazy that we just sat there watching content. Like that day will come when you guys will not be allowed to do this anymore because it's just so risky. Because there will be legal precedent. And so I
Papa
that's truly what I
Bless
think.
coming
But
down
again,
with the truth bombs.
my criticism of him right now is that he uploaded this to YouTube. Because I understand the nature of live streaming. You sit there, stuff is going on, like you said.
The
But for
difference-
him to be like, yo, okay, so this was actually fire. I'm not going to edit it at all. I'm going to cut this unedited.
Yeah, I don't think
basically
he's
their
thinking
video
about that at all
put it on
because
YouTube.
there's never been any kind of. I don't think he's ever gotten criticized for this even.
What? Yeah, he has. He's got shit for this all the time, doesn't he?
Up until this very moment, there's never been an excuse.
You're here for the Fire Emblem? Good.
I'm telling you this because I've been getting shit on for years, in spite of the fact that I have like these boundaries on how I make this kind of content and what
You don't
I
have
choose
boundaries
to upload on my
this.
actual like owned and operated page that's like heavily edited. Regardless of that, I've been getting shit on online for years and years, and not a single peep was ever made about XQC in that
right?
process.
I thought
and he never fucking sidestepped to be like, hold up, guys, let's stop now. I mean, I do this too. It's kind of ridiculous. He's never fucking come out and like defended me in any capacity, despite the fact that.
Ooh, the beef rises. Hassan now bringing up the fact that X has always been on his ass about how lazy he is with everything. What happened to her to get divorced? No, I think if anything, I think Hila's pregnant again. I think they're having another baby. He's like, ah, shit, I got to make sure the next generation is giving my son good content when he grows up.
He himself was a regular abuser of the same structures, if we're being real. The same goes for, again, Charlie, Moist Critical, any kind of Asmongold, any kind of live streamer that is live reacting to content can always have this kind of footage cut out of them because they're live for 10 hours a day.
This to YouTube.
It's the same. I understand. That is a big difference.
I understand.
That's why I think the important thing to mention here is that uploading that kind of VOD content to YouTube without any editing whatsoever is not good, and it's not a good product in general. But listen,
the one thing I
have to mention
general.
here is that it's no different than when podcasts first came out and people would get clipped out of context all the fucking time on podcasts, because that was the first time that we were experiencing like an uninterrupted 3-hour medium of content from people that were not media trained to speak for 3 hours.
I don't
So you
think
could
that's
very
similar at
easily
all.
Catch someone off
honestly.
guard and make them appear a certain
I think catching someone else off guard and having somebody just say, oh, hey, chatters, watch this as you leave are two very different things.
way.
I don't think you need to make excuses. I mean, look, just own it. You do that shit.
What do you mean?
You do that shit. You watch.
Oh, here comes the sword. He's turned the sword. It's coming right at him.
I mean, you and all these guys.
Yeah.
Just be like, yeah, I do that shit. You don't have to like make
100%.
analogies and excuses and stuff. Just be like, I do that. I do that shit.
It's not an analogy at all. The point is, you have to, if we're talking about it like live reacting, if we go back to like the live reacting on Twitch side of things, I like that there are no legal limitations to it. I think it's a good thing. I know that, and I know you know that the YouTube live DMCA
And I know you know that
structure
I know
is,
that you know that.
definitely ripe for abuse. That's number one.
Well,
And
it's the same DMCA structure that governs Twitch, isn't it? It's a set of laws that provide platforms.
Yes,
it means
the automated process and the way that YouTube has set it up has made it so that you can like very quickly shut down most live productions. You can very quickly shut them down, or you can immediately monetize them. I mean, you've had this issue. There's a reason why like you can't even watch like a TikTok video because you're worried that if there's 10 seconds of like music that slips in, then all of a sudden your 3-hour content that you produced with a team of brilliant producers and put together, all of a sudden is gone because of like a slip up. And I don't think that structure is good for making.
I don't think it's like something to even really stress or about. But I do think like it's good to acknowledge like, yeah, we are doing this thing that's probably not right, and I'm thinking about ways to better address it because it's like you said, it's the industry standard, it's the norm.
Ramsey drop.
Of how people operate on Twitch. And I do think it's worth acknowledging that, you know, in some cases it's not right, which you have done, right?
Yeah.
And so,
which you have done. Oh, just the way he just passes it around. It's so funny.
Process, though, I will admit. One, because it's obviously personally beneficial for me, but two, I think it's better for making unique derivative works in general. It really limits your creativity. It limits what you can and can't do. People can immediately go, well, creativity, just fucking play a YouTube video, walk away.
You're right.
Like, no,
you still have to consider the rights of the people that
Yeah.
made the content. But like, and I think the reason that it is more lax on Twitch is because legally there's more room to play with because of the whole saving it and archiving it and putting it up on YouTube.
Yeah.
Gives a little bit different playground to play it. That's why I'm being super extra critical of XQC because look at this shit. And I'm at 1 minute. This motherfucker hasn't said a single word.
So far, he has only received a couple of likes. And has 0.
Oh, here we goes.
He becomes frustrated.
No, false alarm. Minute 10.
Whoa, okay.
Starts questioning his self-image.
He's not saying anything yet. Give him a minute.
What the fuck is he even talking about? Who's he talking to?
He's setting up a nice profile.
I could tell you don't really
Why
watch
can't he
Twitch
get
at
any
all.
matches?
Listen,
'Cause,
I'm
like,
on
this
YouTube
is-
right now, dude.
Yeah, I'm saying like I could tell you don't really. YouTube live streaming is very different due to the automated DMCA structure.
Not that Ethan's on YouTube. The fact that the video you guys are talking about is on YouTube.
Judging
You would
this,
not be able to do this on
I'm
YouTube.
judging this as a YouTube video, which is what it is.
I understand that. I know.
I'm
It's
not-
hard for me.
you know what I
It's
mean?
hard for me to separate the two in my mind because I'm like.
I know you're feeling
that's like-
defensive because you feel.
Because
like
I'm
you
looking
do
at
the
that and
same
I'm like,
thing.
well, that's if I was watching this on Twitch, I would be perfectly understanding
It's
that
a
it's
YouTube
like.
video.
Yes.
That's what I'm criticizing. there.
Fair.
Yeah.
Exactly as fuck, yeah. To answer that question,
Good comment.
you need to understand the numbers
120.
behind dating apps. I made a simulation of a dating app with 1,000 dummies,
did
trying
it.
to understand why men get so few men.
Minute 30. No commentary.
Dating apps can- Yo, because they gotta
Oh, we got a big screen. Here it is.
compete, guys. I feel like this is just like, can you just break us down, just
Shit,
evolutionary,
I just.
it's just like normal, like.
I love how easy it is to do
you gotta
an
compete, bro.
XQC.
Can we transcribe
Chat.
that? I feel like this is animal shit.
He's trying to talk about evolutionary psychology.
No!
And saying that like the reason for this disparity on dating apps for men comes from.
Ellie, you bastard.
Giving him a lot of
comes from
fucking credit.
I mean, I understand what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
That's what he's trying to say.
Well, you can.
Do all these tricks and add all these feathers that are all these.
See, there's
colors with
editing.
men, And
We got the bird. We got the Rolex.
the women, it's just a brown bird. Because the men have to appeal the best and do all
This is
these
an edited
tricks
video,
and break
Ethan.
because they have to compete.
I've just
Well,
said-
no, this part's fine, even though I think he sounds like a moron. It's
Okay,
fine,
I've
but it
I
took
know
him
what I
2
should do.
minutes to fucking say a goddamn
Yeah,
single
well,
word about it.
Well, first you got to establish a narrative. What are we watching? You know what I mean?
Well, he didn't do that.
Well, he let the video do it. I think.
Well, he needs to do it.
Did he let
mean,
the
yeah.
video do
He's
it?
not going to talk for 2 minutes.
I mean, he's.
Listen, I'm just telling it like this is what it is, dude.
This is an edited video.
A distorted picture of what
This,
real dating
this is
was.
not an edit.
Whatever. But
Like
yeah,
this is
XQC's a moron.
barely edited.
I really dislike him. I don't
Okay.
get the hype.
Did we make any do we touch any new ground on the ethics of live streaming? I feel like we need
Wait.
to summarize it. Like
Okay,
a TLDR
there we
of
go.
it.
That's
Here's
better.
what I think. I don't think what you're doing makes you a bad person or wrong or something that you should feel guilty or even get dogpiled.
I
about.
don't even feel guilty about what I'm doing.
Okay.
Oh, my
But what I
Blaine's
do
corner
think
doesn't
is that
really like.
It's good for
Sit right.
streamers to start acknowledging.
XQC is the reason
there
women
are
shouldn't drink during
boundaries.
pregnancy.
And there are certain things you can and cannot do, or there are things that make it better, and there are things that make it worse.
How do I fix
And I think
this?
it's good for React streamers to start acknowledging those things and trying to work to make it better.
Yeah, I mean,
As one example, not walking away well.
I've gotten criticized a lot for this for many
that's
years,
huge.
and regardless of the personal vendetta or the genuine interest that like my interlocutors in those
Yeah.
situations had about like whether it be generating clout for themselves or whatever, even though I
You
very
fit
swiftly
for right now.
apologized for it and tried to make amends for it, and they just refused to recognize that and just continued hammering on for
That's
years and
better.
years about how big of a piece of shit I am. Which made me drop any pretense
But I
of
gotta
trying
make
to
it. Hold
respond to
on.
these people altogether. There are truthful aspects to their criticism, which I've taken.
There
to
are
heart and
truthful
have
aspects to their
changed,
criticism.
the
You heard
way
it
that
here.
I live stream even on top of that.
Good, great.
He's
I
literally
guess, like,
changing the way
other
that he
side of this
does
is that
things.
if pressure keeps mounting in this regard towards live streaming and like live streaming uploads onto YouTube, I'm gonna
But
have
he's
to
not.
start cracking the DMCA whip on my own Hassan Eclipse Industrial Complex like fan
Do
channels.
it!
Right.
Because
Crack that whip!
One, it's not good content in general if you're just like leaving that dead air, and if you're not editing it in order to make it transformative.
Just to be clear, you're talking about fan channels that upload your clips wholesale.
Yeah.
Not you.
Yeah, VOD rips.
Yeah.
Yeah, just not me, because you will not
Do it.
find. I don't think you'll find a video from my own personal channel where like I'm not.
You won't.
In
I can
good
vouch for
faith,
that.
like
No.
watching a video with the hope of making
Can
it as
you vouch
transformative as
for
possible.
that?
I do that for every YouTube video that I watch for sure. There will always be
I don't
exceptions
know.
to the rule. Like I can't say across the board, you know. But
Lofty and Vito are on Racket's channel. Oh, but we're about to get to the good part where Hassan's like, I can't use the copy system on this guy.
ultimately,
All right, we'll do this
given
here.
how much I do add with respect to the context, if you're a fan channel out there and you're like uploading straight VOD rips, stop trying to go first to market. Another thing that they do that's frustrating is like they'll literally steal the original art, the original thumbnail, and
they
just
will.
slap my face on it as I'm doing like soy face. I hate that shit. You didn't change the
Yeah,
didn't
of
change
course
the fucking
they're gonna
thumbnail.
do all
you
that.
didn't change the title. You're basically trying to squeeze into the algorithm and ride the coattails of a YouTuber who fucking worked a lot and spent a lot of time and effort and money to make a video. I don't like that at all.
Can I tell you, those guys have upset me a few times where I'm doing one of my interviews and then they'll upload you reacting to it before our show's even done.
Yeah. Like, yeah, no, they're
oh my goodness. They they take his stuff and have uploaded the reactions before they can upload it. He hates the industrial complex. Oh, it's golden. Frickin' golden.
they're fast with it.
And it's like,
I don't like
it's
that.
like, I agree. I mean, have you told them to not do that?
There are instances like where I'll reach out to a content creator ahead of time to be like, are you comfortable with this? If they're not, I'll tell ahead of time.
Are you
like, don't react to
comfortable with
stuff,
this?
don't
What do you
upload
mean?
it.
Are you comfortable with this?
Being first to market thing.
But there are still
What does that mean? What are you talking
channels that
about?
Basically take advantage of the lack of protection on YouTube. Not just for me. They do it for Charlie as well. They do it for any Twitch streamer. Like,
How does that
every
work?
Every single Twitch streamer has...
Because Hassan is too dumb to use the copy claim system on YouTube. He is unable to communicate to these other channels in order to get them removed. The secret is he's okay with the channels because when those other channels upload his stuff, he has people that show up in his Twitch feed. But now he's being confronted with the fact that it's a problem for the guy who he currently works for. He's so dumb.
Every single Twitch streamer has like this kind of issue where they will literally go.
It's people they.
Oh, that's one of them. That's
Yeah.
literally the channel.
That's
I'm talking
one
about.
of them.
That's the fucking channel.
This is
Hassan
the-
have a capital 2. Wait, click on this channel.
It's just
here.
an
This is a
image.
great example.
It's just an image.
Oh fuck.
But I know what it is because look, it's the whole fucking thing, and it's 1:30. It's the whole interview, and I wasn't even done. It was uploaded before our episode even processed.
Yeah, dude, they
and
do
I'm
that
like,
to,
dude, what
they
the
do that to
fuck?
me as well.
And I know it's not you. So
I'll
I'm not mad
respond
at
to
you.
I'll respond to like a Ben Shapiro video about me, right?
Yeah.
I'll respond to a
Yeah,
Ben
you'll
Shapiro
do
video
a
about
thing.
me, and
And then what?
upload it
What will you do
while
about
I'm
it?
Still fucking streaming.
So this blanket, like you guys can upload anything, I don't care, is not really working out. And these some rules.
But that is a problem with YouTube though, because click on Google Hassan Capital 2 right now. I'm looking at it right now.
Hold on, a problem with YouTube?
Here.
What do you mean a problem with
This is a
YouTube?
great
Why don't you
example,
just
right?
do the copyright claim on it?
Click on the page. Go to videos. Click on the videos. It says fan channel, right? You're like, well, click on oldest.
Oldest.
Boom. You see this shit?
Boom.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck.
No,
They're just
I
trying to
can't
make money.
do anything.
Boom,
I've
boom
told
what?
YouTube
What
a
boom?
thousand
What are
times,
we
like,
booming
These
here?
are the fucking channels. These, you know what these motherfuckers do?
them. They
No, you know
can't
what they
do
do?
that.
You know what they do? They DMCA other fucking fan channels of mine.
Fucking Ethan Klein is telling Hassan how the DMCA system works on YouTube and that he needs to use it. And he's too stupid to know what the heck he's talking about. He's just too dumb to figure it out. Baby can't do that.
With my clips.
So you should DMCA this guy.
Do
You
it.
shouldn't let him get away with all this shit.
Like, look at this.
Yeah.
And there's
He's
not
so
much you can do
incensed.
about it.
You can.
There's like so many. No, I told YouTube.
him.
There's nothing you can do about it. Yes, you can. No, there's not. DMCA them. It's so simple.
YouTube doesn't care. They don't do anything. You have to do it yourself. They can't file a legal claim. YouTube cannot file a DMCA on your behalf.
That's true. They
can't do it.
cannot.
Okay.
But if you DMCA
Okay.
him 3 times, his channel will get fucking suspended or banned. You know what I mean?
Oh my
Look, all of a
God.
sudden he
Yeah, boom,
realized
all of a
Gravy
sudden.
Train. Hassan.
The stream didn't end, but they uploaded a reaction ahead of time because there's people that are probably, they've got their OBS up and they're pulling in the max window on his Twitch channel and they're just waiting for a section, or they're hitting clip on Twitch, and when you get that clip made, you download it and then you can go upload it really quickly. Super simple.
He's about to get me paid.
Yeah, and this is not one channel.
Oh, this was one of his first clips. Was this full rip.
There is so many.
300,000
This channel
views.
is a network. They have they operate like a bot network. We've taken
But
down.
the reason that they're so
we take down-
successful is because, there's no accountability.
I know, but we take down their channels. They just make
Take
they
down their
literally will
channel?
go
What do you mean?
And make a new one. You
This
can't
one's
really
been
do anything.
operating for a minute.
Bring out the whole ocean.
I think
There we
that's
go.
Wild.
Because
dude, there's so
I
many
need
of
to
these
move
fucking
that
guys
up a
out there.
little
They
bit
do it to
well,
other podcasts.
if you don't care, I'll do DMCA's when they upload my content like
do it.
Because I was like,
I said this for all YouTubers as well. Listen, dude, fan channel, bot channel doesn't fucking matter. If you don't like, a type of content, you have it on your dashboard.
Bot channel.
You click on your dashboard. You see, Hassan Abi fan channel, right? And you see like 10% of your video was utilized here. It shows up on your dashboard, right? You know exactly who's watching your videos and when, and who's uploaded your videos. If you see that, number one, if it's a fan channel, they will always have. It will always have an email that you can send a request to. They will immediately take it down. Fan channels will always take it down. If you want, you can also DMCA them. If
I do think they need to be punished.
You should DMCA them. What?
They gotta be punished.
I'm gonna just say this right now. People that are uploading my content wholesale because someone reacted to it, and they're doing it to get ahead of our video in the algorithm, I will DMCA you. And I do not give you consent either, which I'm gonna DMCA these videos right now.
Do it. DMCA him.
This motherfucker. Where's the other one? There was 2 of them, right?
Yes.
You sent me 2. Okay.
Welcome back, NH.
There's a bunch of channels like this.
Yeah, and it's not. I'm not saying it's your fault at all.
No, I know, dude. This is something that happens to Moist Critical as well. For the record, it's not just me. And like YouTube's aware of this problem. They just don't really do much about it.
They don't. It's not in their tool house. They have the legal authority to start removing people's videos for DMCA. It needs to be.
They do it for
because they don't own the videos. You do.
I know, but they do it for. They demonetize channels like this for. What is it called?
No, they don't really do that.
No, they demonetize channels all the time. So you're not entirely correct on this. They demonetize channels for
demonetizing is not DMCA, dude.
I know, but when these channels get demonetized, then they're done. There's no use for them to exist any longer. That's my point. Like,
I don't think YouTube knows what the fuck this channel is.
Fuck, what is it called?
It's true. They don't know.
You re-upload. Yeah, you're re-uploading.
It's called like duplicative content or something.
I told people they could upload our clips and YouTube won't monetize any of them. It's weird that like. They seem, for some reason, anyone that uploads your shit, it gets monetized. But like people that were trying to do it for ours, YouTube was like, you can't do that.
Because I don't have an issue with my clips being monetized.
I told them that too. It was weird. They wouldn't let me do it.
Yeah.
Well, is it different maybe because the original content lives on Twitch?
Oh, that is why. That's definitely.
Yeah.
So if it was originally posted on YouTube, then
no, that gives that weird.
That's it for sure.
It's not your fault.
It's not your fault.
Sounds like Hassan actually does believe in limits to IP ripping, contrary to how this whole conversation started. Yeah, exactly. Except I mentioned that in the beginning because I always said there's going to be bad faith people, and that there needs to be some level of regulation to deal with bad faith people.
Did you talk about
which is what I said in the beginning of this conversation.
People?
Once again, newsflash: I had a nuanced perspective on a subject matter that I have personal experience with, and yet people have black and white understandings of the subject, so they immediately rush to conclusions on what they think I'm saying. Anyway.
Fuck this guy though, for sure. You know what I mean?
This guy at the Barrett pretty much.
Hassani Capital, not that guy.
Yeah. There's a bunch of channels like that.
So here, but anyway, we haven't talked about Trump at all. This kind of went down. I wasn't even planning to have this conversation.
Oh my goodness, I think that's the end of it. It does technically have like 5 more minutes, but yeah, that was so much gold, so much gold. You've got Hassan being confronted with the fact that he creates this culture of people stealing and ripping his stuff, and perpetuates it to the point where nobody's really worried about it. And so when you do have people who are like, oh yeah, no, this isn't cool, we can't, this should not happen, that he just doesn't get it. He don't understand. He don't get it. At least work is progressing. Maybe the work progresses. I gotta fix this. Dang it! I thought I built it right, but I gotta build it a little different because I don't like the way this looks. That one, this one, and then this one. Move these all over here. Put them all on this one. And then I put the background on the very tippy top. That is probably going to be it for tonight, unless I go to Ricado's Rumble and it's hilarious.
Some of them hate me. I don't read chat. Oh, sometimes I read chat.
Well, I also get DMs where people are like, "Oh man, you and Ricada hate each other, right?" And I'm like, "No, we're cool, man. We got cheesesteaks in Philadelphia."
Legit.
Yeah, we stood in line for 12 hours to get those fucking cheesesteaks. They were
it was a really fucking good
steak for 12 hours. What the fuck are you doing?
Who likes Vito enough to stand next to him for 12 hours? Did I check out the second server? I have not had time to check out the other server. Today I was getting my alignment done. I was doing a bunch of other run around town and laundry and all the stuff. All the household stuff is mine because waifu is not feeling great right now.
Why do we make our pillow in the shape of a cube? I'll tell you.
I'm just built alternatively, constructed alternatively.
Constructed in an unorthodox fashion. Built stupid. Crafted without the preset parameters.
Y'all built different. I'm built incorrectly. I'm just raw in every way.
I should not exist.
I should not exist.
What the hell is this? What is this? Oh, hey, Lolly's streaming. Yay, Lolly. All right, everybody. I'm going to finish doing my background, and then I got to call it a night because I got stuff to do tomorrow. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for making it through Sam Bucket's Cedar Part 2, and then head on over to the Ethan Klein speaking facts to Hassan. That was a fun stream to get the chunks of. Anybody who wants to, head on over to Almighty Lolly. You know, you listen to him while he's playing some Final Fantasy on that grind, it sounds like. Or you can go over to Rumble, listen to Ricada, but Vito's on that one, so I'd avoid that one if I were you. Whatever you want to do is up to you guys, though. Tomorrow is going to be our Fun Time Friday. I will see you 7 o'clock Pacific time right here at Blaine's Escape Corner. Kampai, everybody.